start the show with Bl'Artagnan, Type Zoe, and Raw Life. This is the Lifestream.
Hey, this is the Lifestream. Welcome. Lifestream number 25. Shout out Dystopia Bard for the riffs bringing us in. We are the Lifestream. Thank you guys for joining us. I see a lot of our weekly friends in the chat. We have a lot to get through. It's not a dead game anymore. It's a live game. It's a very live game. So we're going to get straight into it. Bl'Art, you there? You live?
I am here. I am live. Despite my best efforts, I really shouldn't have eaten that extra slice of pizza tonight. I am feeling terrible, but it's okay. I'm here with you and ready to get into it. Get into that DFFOO life. Some girl, how are you doing? What's going on?
I'm all right. Got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Enjoyed having the day off from work. Not excited to go to work tomorrow, but
for snow?
That's life.
Did it snow in Florida? Everybody was off today.
No.
Oh, I know what it was. It was MLK Day. Hell yeah.
Yes, it is a federal holiday.
Yes, shout out. Very good, very good. It was a lot of snow here too, so I still had to work because I work from home. That was a bummer. Bl'Art, is the storm up in the north yet? Oh my good God. Sorry to cut you off, Bl'Art. Chris5258 has just rated us with a party of 38. Welcome.
Yo.
Shout out Chris5258. If you don't follow him yet, first off, what are you doing? Second off, go follow him. The DFFOO, the first soldier, everything you need. Chris5258. We love you, man. Thank you so much. Anyway, Bl'Art, I know we got a lot of content to get through tonight. We had a whole bunch of content since last stream, but any ice, any snow, storm that hit us? Is it hitting you now?
Oh yeah, no, the ice storm swept through where I'm at last night. It did basically nothing because the Northeast is used to this sort of thing, so it just kind of sounded bad. And then I looked outside and it rained and it was all gone. I didn't have to shovel; it was great.
Yeah, see, I live in the South, North Carolina, so 1 inch of snow just absolutely brings our lives to a complete standstill. So we got like 3 inches and then also a bunch of ice, and the world stopped. So we will survive. But like I said, we've got a lot of content to work through tonight, don't we, guys? Last week, after our show, Divine Ifrit came out. Bunch of gems, bunch of tickets. You guys know the deal by now. And a Lufania Plus. Some girl, who did you bring? I think I'm going to run the Divine Ifrit right now while we talk about it.
Ooh.
It wasn't quite like Shiva, but who'd you bring? How'd you like it?
It's funny that you say it's not quite like Shiva, because I actually ran the exact same team that I ran for Divine Shiva.
What team?
I know people did that.
Which was Vayne, Core, and the Warrior of Light.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. These were very, very different. Well, actually, now that I think about it, all the turns, consecutive turns, and all that, I guess it wasn't that different. But how did that go? And was it easier?
Oh, it was definitely easier than Shiva. I will definitely say that. It had, I think, a similar like mechanical density in a lot of ways, but the mechanics were way less punishing. So it was just, he attacks you a lot. But yeah, my base BT Vayne Core destroys this fight just like he destroyed Divine Shiva. Warrior of Light keeps you safe. Nothing.
True.
Pretty smooth.
Theologica in chat said, "Go auto that Luffy Plus." I got to shout out Theologica. I don't know if you guys, everyone here should be following Theologica on YouTube. If not, follow. Theologica auto plus this Lufania Plus. That's right. Remove some passives. Bl'Art, did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Theo, you were a madman. I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. For those of you on the TCC Discord, Belial had for a while been kind of auto-plussing his way through some of the older Lufanias, and he stopped doing that after a while. And I thought it'd be the funny dream to auto-plus the current, latest, newest Lufania or Lufania Plus, and turns out you can do it in this fight, and Theo did it.
Had to remove some passives to get it to work. But really crazy video. I watched it and I can't imagine. But follow Theologica on YouTube for some wild runs, and especially if you're a Lightning fan or a Final Fantasy 13 fan. So, Bart, did you go over your team? Who did you bring to this Lufania Plus?
Brought a couple different teams. The one I used to clear it at first was Machina Lena Zac, because Machina is, goofy. And then I did, basically, you could kind of interchange those guys with Pain, Beatrix, and Golbez, and I did just a few runs with different configurations of those 6 units. This fight, the most interesting thing for me for this is that the reductions are just crazy low, so it really, I would say, frees up your team building. It allows you to do weird things, because that orb little fireball eats most of your split AoE attacks and halves all their damage functionally, because it doesn't take any of the real damage. So for a character like Golbez, or I don't know, people who just rely on a lot of split attacks to dole out their damage, they're really hit hard by that. But you can do something like bringing Zac with barely any HP damage up or breaking up, and he's almost capping the entire fight anyway. It's really just fantastic to play through. But yeah, I agree with some girl that it's similar mechanical density to Shiva, but less punishing mechanics. So you're able to just kind of deal, so provided you can survive those recasty type things and can apply debuffs in the latter half of the fight so that the stat reductions don't really get you, it wasn't too challenging.
Yeah, basically, I'm running it right now real quick as we're talking about it, but he summons a fireball, right? The fireball heals itself every time you hurt it, so you can't really kill the fireball. Someone else needs to describe the orb, because the 2 teams I ran it with this exact team. I forgot to mention this. Stay safe out there, everybody. I had COVID last week. Between last show and this show, I had COVID, hunkered down, felt pretty bad for a couple days, and now I am 100% better. So stay safe out there. I was on my cold medicine, halfway awake, and ran this team, and it was so easy and not really, just mindless. I didn't know what the orb did. Then I did my Zidane run with Zidane, Warrior of Light, and Beatrix, and again just ignored the orb. So the orb hops from the fireball to Ifrit, and when it pops, it doesn't really matter. What is it?
All right, do you want me to describe the
orb?
orb?
Some girl, go.
Okay, this one. All right, so the orb starts out on the orb, the fire orb. I just feel
That's going to get really confusing really fast.
It was horrible. I can fix this. So when it's on the ad, the little fireball guy, the condition there is just goes down by 1 every time you take a turn. I believe it goes up by 1 on its own turn. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I think it goes
up by 2, I thought, wasn't it?
I thought it was just 1, but I don't remember.
CSAM with the sub.
Mouse over it and confirm it for us.
CSAM, 5 months subscribed. Friend of the show, long time. Thank you so much, CSAM. Please continue.
Yeah, so it is +1 if the fireball takes a turn, -1 on your turn, and that orb is going to go off. I don't think there's really any team you can realistically run where that orb is not going to pop. And when it does, the orb switches over to the main boss. There are 3 different conditions that tick up the orb. One of them is a move that resets break status, so a re-break. That will give it +1, so those turns will break even. If you run characters like Knoll or Vayne, then their turns will not tick the orb up. They won't tick the orb down, because it's -1 for taking a turn, +1 for the re-break. It's +2 if it takes off-turn wind damage, or wind damage from additional attacks. I don't know exactly the technicalities of what does or doesn't count for that.
Follow-up attacks, I think, is what does it.
Okay, I don't know what they're counting as additional attacks. I didn't experiment with it too much. I know Core counts for it.
Oh, he does?
If you enchant him with wind. I ran a Fusion Call and enchanted Core. Then I realized I actually didn't need to take it up, so I never used it the second call.
So it's similar to Shiva in the way that the orb's going to go off, number 1, and also the orb's not going to kill you when it goes off.
The orb's going to go off, but not just because it's going to go off as nature playing the game. Once you get Ifrit down to 50%, the orb, and if it hasn't gone off on the fireball, it'll automatically go off then as well.
Right. So there's still more conditions for this orb. Don't worry, we're not done yet. It also goes up by 3 if Ifrit takes a turn. That's +3. And so if it goes off, he'll do an AoE HP attack. He'll delay you. And that's mostly it. It's not fatal. It does hurt quite a lot. If the orb goes up to 35, then the orb will switch back over to the fireball and restart the cycle.
Wait. If the orb goes all the way up to 35, then
Correct.
it switches.
If you reach 35, the orb goes back to the fireball.
Good God! Oh my God! As you can tell, I've done this fight twice and just did not care. Just everyone said, "Forget the orb, don't worry about it," and so I just didn't worry about it. But that's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, it's a really interesting design. My only gripe with it, like I said before, is I feel like in the end, it doesn't really end up feeling that threatening because you don't really get punished for it going off very hard.
Yeah, they
if you
tried.
Just bring defense. You bring,
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of people use Warrior of Light, or just bring,
Yeah.
like, here you have multiple sources of mitigation. Just take the damage.
The recast, I think, was the most threatening part, and that was only because, in my experience, because with the delays, it could eat through its own debuffs, which I think the Fireball Orb also lowers debuffs on Ifrit, but
Yes, it does.
late in the fight, post 50%, it starts debuffing your stats pretty hard passively as an aura, so long as it has less than 4, or I think more than 4 debuffs on it.
Yes, you will not do that if it has exactly 4 debuffs.
Yeah.
What?
I was seeing...
How do you know this? How do you even know that? What situation?
You just gotta feel it in your bones, man. You have to use your gamer instincts to parse the orb.
Let's see. Other important mechanics. The Fireball will sometimes put an HP regen on Ifrit for 1% of its health on its turn, which can add up to quite a lot of regen. It's a 10-turn duration if you don't dispel it. Of course, you're bringing Beatrix here, so you won't have to worry about that. Some people use Vanille Sphere on a character like Orin. I had a Vanille Sphere on my Vayne, so I can kind of ignore that.
Yeah.
Right. And the theme of this fight is HP damage. They're gonna HP damage you. Obviously, I have a ton of mitigation, but just be prepared for that. I'm pretty sure Bosch, if you can make up the DPS elsewhere, Bosch completely protects you the entire fight. Is that right?
Correct.
So if anybody's having trouble with this fight, I don't think anybody watching right now is. But if you are, head to the TCC Discord. There's great people there to help you out, give you advice, give you team comps, explain to them why you're struggling, and we'll get you through it because it's nothing like Shiva. In my experience, even when I took tough like super strong teams to Shiva, it was still a pain in the ass. This one, not quite as much.
It
I think
also
the
helps
two-turn
that core is insane here.
Oh yeah, there's so many all attacks. The Fireball's constantly throwing out all attacks. Ifrit's very regularly throwing out all attacks. I don't think he counters does a counter on the threshold attacks, but that queues up like 4 enemy turns. It's going to be like 6 counter attacks, something like that.
Yeah, Excalibur in chat. I haven't heard anyone say this. Every 10 player actions trigger the HP regen buff, and the Fireball also debuffs you with fire resist down at the same time. So
Yeah, that's true.
The one thing about this fight to keep in mind is that none of the attacks that you take are a lot of the attacks we've seen recently dodge mitigation in some way. They ignore HP damage mitigation. They ignore defense. There's a brave gain associated with it, something. These are fairly, or double dumps, another good one for Bosch and stuff. These are all fairly run of the mill. It's just a big ol' AoE HP attack. Lots of them, but if you bring any sort of mitigation, you should be able to tank it, except for the threshold attacks, which need an extra layer of mitigation on top.
Yeah, that's where you use your calls if you're going that route. Or
Oh my goodness! Everybody, say hello to Duncan, and our good friend of the show.
it's my fierce guard dog.
Your friend and mine, Duncan. Duncan Life, is that his name? His full name is Duncan Life, I'm assuming.
That's Duncan. That's raw Duncan life. He's my guard dog. He's tough. You see him here. My team is actually fighting on its own, so I actually don't have to press any buttons. So I just took the opportunity to Duncan happened to be over here smelling,
Oh boy.
smelling around, and Duncan, say hello.
It's your turn again, but I do appreciate the Duncan cam. He is a good boy.
There you go. Let me see if I can get this thing back. That was a
There we
mistake.
go. That's some good stuff.
That was a mistake. But anyway,
something else I wanted
God, what have you
to
done?
shout out about the team that you have here and in general. Mocking a friend is also insane here.
I brought Mocking a friend. Why is he insane? Go into detail.
So I mean, one, he does 1,000,000 damage single target on his turn, and also he counters on the off turns. So once you start getting him delayed, he keep his BT effect around for a long time. He does, 150,000 damage to each target every time one of them takes a turn. He delays himself with his HP attack. I had Mocking a Friend in my run. I switched Vayne out turn 1. Mocking a Friend was there until like 55%.
Jeez, in this team, I don't even know who to swap. I don't even remember what friend I brought with this team the first time I beat it, but I don't know who to switch out because I need Beatrix. I want Core. I guess Auron, maybe, but he's providing some more HP mitigation, so I don't know.
I feel like
he still does do Spiral Linchpin when he's gone, but it's actually no, he ran out of Spiral Linchpin. They burned through his entire debuff before he was gone.
Really?
But yeah, because they delay you so much, and he delays himself.
I don't even really need to use her HP plus because I'm not going to run out of skills.
We'll say, yeah, I want to shout out. There were a couple of intrepid folks. I want to say Clay and Excalibur, I think, off the top of my head, who were able to basically no boss turn this by using the Machina BT phase to kill it from 50% to 0 and skip 3 of the threshold attacks. It really is degenerate. It requires a bunch of HP damage up and Rain's Call and just Pandemonium, Bart's the works, but it was really hilarious to watch go down. It was just I was proud of myself because in my run I skipped the 30% and 10% threshold attacks with the Machina Burst phase, and they were just hold my beer, killed it from 50% exactly. It was stupid. I loved it.
Yeah, this fight's interesting. They tried some stuff. You gotta give them some credit for trying some different stuff. Very cool. The weird thing is, I guess they didn't want it to be too hard, but you don't really have to debuff them. You don't really have to worry about Brave reductions. I don't know what their defense is, but it just seems like the defense is so much lower than typical bosses we're fighting at this point.
Okay, so this fight, I can give you some numbers on that.
Yeah.
At the start of this fight, he has 10% Brave damage reduction. At the end of the fight, he has 30% Brave damage reduction.
Aren't we looking at 90-90 most of the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like
that's
70-90 or like 90-70 is pretty standard, I think. 90-90 is the tankier fights.
Right, so it's just crazy. I guess they did make it 70 turns.
He has a lot of health.
He does have a lot of health.
28 million.
I don't know if anybody is familiar with JP side of things, but I was told by a typically accurate source that Ifrit had millions more HP when this fight, same exact fight, but with millions more HP. Is that true?
I heard. Yeah.
So the difference was his HP regen was bugged on release, so he didn't actually regen any health when he had the HP regen buff, but he had 37 million health instead of 28 million.
So he had 9 million more.
Right, but he didn't regen any health at all. So.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like 28 million on its own isn't a crazy amount of health, but the fact that so much of your damage is soaked into that fireball makes it artificially a lot tankier than it would be even with the lower reductions.
Yeah.
It is fun as heck to just cap like crazy even late in the fight though.
Yeah, my Zidane run was phenomenal. I haven't really noticed how nerfed his skill 2 free energy is on Brave gains in every single fight ever. But in this fight, he just did 300 to 400k every turn of the fight because the defenses are so low. The Brave gains reduction is non-existent, and it was phenomenal. But otherwise, is that a word? Is that what I'm trying to say?
We'll allow it, yeah.
Otherwise?
Yeah, otherwise. That's a word.
Yeah, otherwise. No, that didn't sound right, y'all. I don't. Otherwise, yes. Otherwise is what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, there was the boards. Did you guys do your divine boards after we just got like 300 tickets from that other random event? Did you finish your boards already?
Yes, but I have done the degenerate hoarder thing of not redeeming my last 10 boards because I'm capped on tickets.
Ditto. I'm drowning in tickets right now.
No. You guys didn't do your final boards because you're hoarding tickets. Is that what? Is that?
I'm not hoarding. I pulled everything. I'm just capped.
I'm hoarding. My goal is to be the first to hit 1 million tickets.
I got some bad news about that.
I'm not the first person to hit 1 million gems, but wait, oh god, J Dodo's already done it, hasn't he?
I am beside myself because I am surrounded by hoarders. You know what I did? I pulled on banners just to get rid of tickets because I refuse to have a bunch of tickets in boards in my mailbox, in my everywhere. I'm not a hoarder. Hoarding is disgusting. It hurts the other aspects of your life. You need to just pull. Just pull. Even if you don't need anything on a banner, just pull on that banner. I have 990 something tickets right now, and it's making me so uncomfortable because I know the next event that comes out, I'm gonna have to pull on just something just to keep myself under 999. Do you want to defend yourself?
I have every LD that's currently on a banner.
What about EXs?
I plan on pulling the next banner.
What about EXs?
I have all the EXs currently on banners.
Lil Thea says pull Vanille. How about this? I will pull with tickets until I get Vanille's LD. Unless it takes me to 0 and I don't get it, I'm not going to go to gyms. But I will pull her LD if we get 10 subs from now to the end of the show. Very easy. I don't have anything of Vanille's. So 10 subs, I will ticket pull Vanille on stream until I get her.
Wait, this is like a good thing for you. You get a good character for.
Oh, a good character. Do we want to go? Jesus Christ, Tree.
Of course he did.
Tree Void. All right, let me gather myself.
Got him.
Thank you, Tree Void. Tree Void is always. Why do you guys like to see me upset? Is my problem. Thank you, Tree Void. Thank you, Shadow. We're already at 6, so Jesus Christ. Guess I'm gonna get Vanille.
Congratulations, you're getting a good character.
I was gonna wait until we finish this for us to discuss Vanille, but surprise! If you read the stream title, Vanille came.
Yep.
We may not finish this fight because honestly, we're clearly safe. We're only on turn 20. This is I told everyone it was going to be like a 20-minute fight. It looks like a little bit closer to.
Oh, so no, that's the worst thing about this fight, is that stupid fireball has the heal animation every time you do HP damage to it, and it makes the fight take forever.
Right, so we may have to go ahead and jump into the next event, which I haven't even beat yet. What time is it? Should we go ahead and?
Exciting.
Yeah, we're not in any. We're at 9:03 right now, y'all. You guys let me know what you want to do. But we are Drez with a gift sub. Thank you, Drez64. Tree Void, Shadowheart, and Drez love to see me hurt and sad, and that's fine. I appreciate your support anyway. So we're now at 7. Is that right? Yeah, we're at 7 of 10 for me to pull Vanille. Wonderful. Just what I needed. A fucking character that's late. I guess she's early, actually, when you think about it. The way she arrived.
Yeah, she gets a pretty good C90, yeah.
So she's early. They heard all the crap everyone's talking about. Why is Vanille so late? And they said, you know what? Here's an early Vanille instead. Blart, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say she's early, but she's also late, and she's great in Ifrit for helping dispel that buff that they get.
Sure.
Yeah, we are. Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, well, we're pulling Vanille. Let's go ahead and end this fight. We're gonna go ahead and end this fight. Joey 99 with 5 gifted. Good Lord, Joey, thank you, man. Appreciate the support. Tree Void, Joey, Shadow, Drez. You guys apparently are big Vanille fans, so let's go ahead and do that. Basically, this was the fight. Obviously, I have almost all my skills on every character left. I have every LD left on
You
core.
haven't done anything.
I haven't done anything. Yeah, we're at turn
Jesus,
21
yeah.
of 70. If you're having trouble with the fight, like I said, just let us know. We will definitely try to help you out. TCC Discord is there for any questions you have, but this is it. You just basically let him keep moving. He can't hurt me. I haven't used any calls, my friend or my summon. That's how you beat this fight. I've already done it with this
I also
team.
want to shout out the 40,000 HP requirement.
That's yeah. If you're bringing Lena and 2 characters get KO'd, you may miss the HP requirement. But that's about the only way. Let's check chat. I have not been good about checking chat while we're streaming. Let me see what's going on there. It looks like they're very excited for me to pull Vanille. But anyway, that's Divine
I'm very
Ifrit.
excited.
That's Divine Ifrit. If you have any problems, just let us know. We'll try to help you get through it. After Divine Ifrit came out, we got a surprise banner, and here it is on the screen. It is
Noctis and Vanille.
It's bad.
Who could have seen this coming?
It's bad. It's really, really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
What's
to you guys.
bad?
Noctis, who already had his BT, so it's just his BT plus, really. And then Vanille, who should have come out months ago. That's the entire banner. No third character, no... come on. First off, actually, let me just go ahead and give the stage over to some girl. I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you're active in the Discord communities, you know some girl is a diehard Vanille fan. Loves Vanille. Been waiting forever. Some girl, first off, congratulations. And how do you feel? She's here. Tell us about the banner. How do you feel?
I pulled her and blued her armor, obviously. I used her in this fight that just came out. She was very good for it because she's the featured character. And I was glad to use one of my favorite characters.
There you have it. If you
Also,
said glowing praise
I do
from the
also want
number
to say,
one
you
Vanille
say this is
fan.
a bad banner, but the JP equivalent of this banner had Prompto, who was not even a new LD.
You got to see 90.
So I think we kind of won this one.
True.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say this is a bad banner per se. I think it's it's not like it's not the most exciting banner we've seen, but I think it's a fine banner to be. We got a newish LD. Yeah, new LD.
Okay. So you guys want to fight? Okay, that's fine. We'll fight.
What are we fighting about? I don't understand what's.
You're both saying it's
here.
a good banner. On what plan? Okay. Let's look at an average banner that comes out. You have a BT that's in its cycle, so a new BT that's not come out yet. You have one new LD, and then you have a returning LD, right? Am I wrong?
Correct.
That's an average banner. So on what basis, mathematically, please help me understand how is this not a horrible banner? Just worse than average.
It has a BT and 2 LDs.
I have a simple answer for you, Raw, which is that I'm still very much shell shocked over Setzergate, and so I'm still and basically at this point, if there's a BT on the banner, I'm like, okay, thank God, at least there's a BT on the banner. I'll take it. Squex has got me good.
Lilithia the Fox, actually, with a good point. Banner is decent for newer to mid players. Not everyone is a vet. It's easy to forget that sometimes.
Thank you, Lily.
That's a good point. Not everyone is a vet, so if you're new, this would not be a bad banner. I appreciate that, but to continue my dominance in this argument, even if you're a newer player, every other banner is still better. Sorry.
Actually, I was about to say.
Yeah, every other banner is... Bart,
wait a second.
Keep going.
You're right. If every other banner is better, because I'm looking at the new, the options that a new player would have right now. We got Snow, which comes with Lion, so you get a Dispeller like Vanille and a usable damage dealer, along with Snow, who is a very good damage dealing tank, who is going to have a BT in the future, so he's got a good future. You got Ursula, who comes with Sync, so again, damage dealer, kind of utility damage dealer, along with just Ursula's a lot, just very strong kind of role coverage. Who comes back with we know she's coming back with an FR along with her Lost Chapter, which that's 2 different tuning passes you can look forward to her instead of her being forgotten. You got Null plus Sid, so that's 2 really solid damage dealers.
Bl'Art.
What?
You skipped a banner.
Which banner did I skip?
Onion Knight and Sarah.
That was the fourth banner I was going to get to. So yeah, we got the Null and Sid, which is that's that's some top tier damage right there from both of those guys, along with Edward, who I like a lot. Although I'm not going to.
EX
Anyway.
only.
All right.
And then okay. So I will say it's not the worst banner that we have going right now. Although Sarah LD pretty solid. I do think of the 5 banners I covered, including this one, it's probably number 4 on my list.
I mean, so first off, you're a new player, you should pull on like 4 of those 5 banners.
All right, we got another
Because
fight
you
to go.
haven't
We
been
got
any
another
before.
fight to go. We'll keep talking about this, but I'm going to start pulling as a sub goal. Congratulations, you guys fucked me again. I'm going to pull for Vanille until I get her LD. Amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Got him.
But yeah, overall, I think the banner is not. It's I'm going to pull 2 singles to get to 40, 940, and then I'll go by 10s. I think the banner is. I get that people like Vanille, you like Noctis, that's fine, but just on an objective, what's new basis, standard banner cost to reward ratio, this is bottom of the barrel. This is one of the worst banners we've ever had. Think about
That
the
is an
total.
absurd take.
No, it's not. You have a worse beat. You have a BT that's already out. You have an LD that's already out. You have a new LD and EX and everything else. Full kit of this banner has 1 new weapon.
Every banner has 1 new weapon. That's how
No.
banners work.
This banner has 1 new weapon and it's Vanille LD.
I think I understand what's happening here. I think that Raw would change his tune if they had thrown in Porum EX on the banner, or just a Raijin EX.
You want to go there?
Just a third character, so it would look
Okay.
normal.
Oh, okay. I thought he was. All right, I'm sorry, Bart. I apologize. I was about to commit
I said
violence.
Porum, not Palom, for a reason.
Okay, thank you. I thought.
I knew what I was
all
doing
right,
there.
all right, okay, all right. Let's all calm down. We're not.
We're all
It's
getting a bit
fine.
heated in here, are we?
Okay, it's fine. You said
Also,
Porum.
Raw, you did 3 single tickets. You said you were going to do 2.
Oh, what did I do?
I threw him off his groove.
You did an extra single pull, now you're at 9.
I got to do 9 tickets now to get to 0.
God damn it.
Damn it in
Why
hell.
do we do-
Um,
just do the singles after.
No, I got to get to. This is how I pull. For people who are
Jesus
just
Lord.
getting here, I am pulling for Vanille. Knock on wood, I could pull to 0 tickets mathematically because of a 10 sub goal. That would make me a huge fool, but that would be where we're at. But I'm just saying this banner is mathematically inferior to every banner that we've ever had except for a start match. And maybe Scion and Waka 35 CP. Tell me I'm wrong and explain to me
You are wrong.
why.
I mean, we just had
have
that.
so
We just had
many
that.
worse
If
banners.
you want to make it like every banner, what about that New Year's banner we just had? The LD, the one with all the LDs and no BTs.
Okay.
If you're gonna make a sweeping statement there, I'm just gonna cherry pick that one for us.
Or what about that Mayfair banner we had with like the
Oh, God,
half rates with the 2 LDs?
All right,
Oh,
we're
that
going
was
10
the
tickets.
one-
10 tickets at a time. Bart, what were you gonna say?
Bringing it. Yeah, no, the one some girls mentioned that you remember those the Mayfair banners. It was the 2 returning BTs at like 1.5, like at half the rates of a normal LD. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because that was traumatic. That was just like
That was horrible. Yeah, it was like Shantado
it's-
and Vaughn
they
was
should
on one.
they should have
It was
just done nothing at that point.
Okay.
It felt vaguely insulting.
Okay.
These are just like the bottom of the barrel.
Are you guys done? Are you ready? Is it my turn? You ready?
Impress us.
Go
The
for it, man.
Only new weapon on this banner is Vanille LD. Correct? Or not
Correct. That is correct.
You
Okay.
could argue Noctis BT plus.
True.
How could you argue that? Could you argue that Onion Knight BT Plus was new on the Onion Knight Sarah? What?
So what you're telling me is you skipped, you skipped all the characters who get good C90s because you know they're just going to get a good C90. You're not treating them as an individual character, as I recall you in previous streams talking about treating each tuning pass as its own separate thing.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the death of the live stream. Because Bl'Art apparently wants to bring up receipts, which is fine because I've got receipts too. Bl'Art,
No, you don't.
All right, let's see this.
Bl'Art, were you
You
around?
absolutely don't.
Do you remember the Scion Waka banner? and the vibe that was around when that dropped?
I mean, it sounds pretty bad. I wasn't around for it, I don't think.
So
I will-
explain to me.
it's
Explain to me why this banner for any what position in the lifespan of a DFFOO player would this banner come around and you say, "Yo, that's something I need to pull on." If you're new,
Vanille's LD.
okay. If you're a Final Fan, that's perfect. That's actually proving
No.
my point. Thank you.
No,
if you're a
that's
diehard
banner.
Vanille fan, this banner is fine to pull on. Otherwise, it's
That's-
complete trash.
Though what I mean is that's why you pull on any banner. Why do you pull on Ursula's banner? Because you want Ursula. Why do you pull on
Roll
Vanille banner?
coverage.
Because you want Vanille.
Ursula, if you're pulling on Ursula, you may get a BT. I don't want to
You
say
might
the
get a
wrong one,
Noctis BT on this banner.
but Noctis BT has been out for 10 months.
You haven't been able to pull on it for 10 months.
Oh my god.
And it hasn't had BT plus. So if you didn't have it and you now that the upgrade looks good and you want it now, this is a way to get it. I'll be real. I forget which side I started this argument on. I just had to make sure that I was opposing Raw at every step of it.
Yeah, it's fine. We're 100 tickets deep now, right? No Vanille.
No, you're not.
I think so. 970.
You started at 940.
Okay,
42.
So 70 tickets. No
All
Vanille
right,
LD.
getting there.
You know what I want to point out, even if this goes bad for me, I
Go for it.
agreed on stream to pull Caius BT with tickets. Does anyone remember that happening? I agreed with a certain number of subs. I would pull Caius.
Was that Jekt?
Oh.
Or was that a different?
I thought it was.
I
No,
thought
it
you
was.
jump Caius. You jump pitied Caius.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
did. It
Caius
was
was a
Jekt.
pity. Jekt
It
was
was
the one.
Jack. So yeah, exactly. That's right. So I agreed to ticket Jekt BT, and it cost me like 30 tickets. Does anyone remember that?
That was spectacular. That
was absurdly lucky.
It was really fun.
Yeah, and apparently I'm paying back my dues for this because Vanille, please be Vanille LD. God.
But it's like 100 tickets. That's if you got it now, that'd be very good luck.
Faustus, Raw isn't pulling fast enough for my 4-year-old. She's trying to hit the ticket and OR buttons. All right, let me go faster. If it's blue, I click through it. If it's blue, I click through it. If it's gold, I let it play, baby. Come on, let's get this done. We got a fight to do. I actually haven't done this next fight, so we have to move quick.
Can I just say that I really appreciate, Faustus, that you're watching this stream in a position so that your 4-year-old is able to try to push the buttons on the stream.
Yeah, is there
that's a very charming image in my head, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, we should probably PG the stream for a little while. Shout out Faustus. I'll do my best. This is gold, and I think that we're done.
I don't think you're done.
I think we're done.
You cursed your own polls.
Oh,
no, I
God.
think we're done. This is it. Any questions? Clip it. Clip it. Where's my camera?
I knew
Where's
it.
my camera?
Ah,
Clip it. The good
somehow,
players get
I
the
felt it.
weapons.
I felt it in my bones.
I'm gonna move the mic away so I can scream louder. Clip that. The good players get the weapons. Let's go.
You keep leaning into the mic. Oh God.
I moved the mic away from my mouth so it wouldn't be too bad.
Okay. Now that was
If it was too
Damn
bad,
it.
I apologize to everyone. But that's it, man.
No, he doesn't.
I didn't get Noctis LD though. I will admit I kind of had like an ulterior motive in my head. I said, you know what? I can throw some tickets at this, get Noctis LD and Vanille LD. I guess Noctis isn't really.
Wait.
So-
Whoa. You said this is the worst banner, and there's 2 LDs that you don't have on it.
and kind of were interested in.
What?
I like I said, I forget who was arguing what back there. All I knew is if I could say something that would get your goat, I was going to say it.
When did I say this was a bad banner? Okay. All
Jesus
right.
Christ,
So that was last night. Vanille and Vanille
Noctis
dropped
BT Plus.
Noctis BD Plus. Congratulations, Noctis fans, Vanille fans. Vanille was supposed to come out a very, very long time ago, but that was C80 Vanille.
Correct.
Squex gave us a little, they gave us some. They said, "Hey, look, you're missing Vanille. Here's Vanille C90. Before we get into the event that came with them, Vanille got C90. Let's talk about C90. What the hell's going on? We got a whole new a new crystal tier, guys, and we got a whole new button.
It's true. It's a lot less complicated than people are thinking, so I can probably fly through it in like a minute or so, hopefully.
Fly through it. I'm gonna pee.
So,
I'm gonna pee.
In 60 seconds.
okay.
I'm gonna pee while you
Jesus,
do it.
here we go.
Tell us about
Alright,
Ultimania cores and all that shit.
All right, so yeah, Providence cores and all that junk. C90, it's just the next crystal tier. We always get these, every crystal tier it upgrades some kind of character skills. This time it upgrades your EX attack and your AA, makes them better. Also gives some stat boosts. It's good times. The crystals for those, it's the usual junk, co-op shops, events, yada yada. You'll always have enough crystals to max the units, assuming you clear out the shop and all that junk, so don't worry about like hoarding the crystals. Ultimate weapons, Providence cores, those are a bit harder. I don't think I can do that in a minute exactly, but it'll still not be as long as it's gonna. People have been making it out to be. Basically, there's a new tier of weapon, and you're gonna use these Providence cores to make them. The way you get the Providence cores is by putting characters to C Crystal C90. You see Raw has 4 characters there, and he got Providence cores for doing that. And then once they're C90, you have to take that character through any Lufania, any old Lufania. It doesn't have to be Lufania Plus, any Lufania. And it doesn't have to be all. You don't have to do 3 at once. You can do, Sid with Machina and Y'shtola, and then run the same fight with Sid, Sarah, Y'shtola, or not Sid, Machina, Sarah, Y'shtola, Null, Machina, Y'shtola, and clear that same fight. You can fit 3 C90 characters in one fight, and each fight you lock a C90 character into gives you Providence cores. Use those to make ultimate weapons, which can be limit broken, and the more limit broken it is, the higher HP damage and HP damage cap the character gets from the weapon. And you forge the weapon based on weapon type. So you would need to do 1 for a sword, 1 for greatsword, 1 for bow. You could do 2 for a single weapon type if you want, but it costs more, and I wouldn't recommend it. You can swap it between weapons or between characters, provided the characters are all C90. I think that covers everything. Yes. And for those like getting through the Lufania with the character thing, you don't need to perfect the stage. You literally just need to have the boss dead by the end of it. So it really not difficult. You don't need to be planning spreadsheets to figure out who fits in where. You can at this point do the temporary stages that exist, the Lamia fight and the Ursula event. We actually at this point have so many Lufanias to play with, and so few C90s at the moment that you're never going to run into a bottleneck where it's like, oh man, I wish I had fit more characters into those temporary events. It'll work out. Don't stress about it. Just keep on plopping them in there.
Yeah, and the other reason you should not worry about trying to like save the easier fights for later is because the fights are just going to get easier. We're going to get even more power, and the stages are going to get even more crept. So just don't worry about it.
I don't know if you guys noticed this come across, but Lyra SRL hosted us. We appreciate that.
Oh, nice.
Lyra SRL, thank you so much for the host.
Much appreciated.
I missed everything you guys said, so I'm just going to crash the conversation and say things you've already said. Because
I literally just finished explaining the whole thing. You don't need to touch on any of it.
Don't worry about the limited time missions.
Okay.
I know Blart didn't cover it right, so I'm going to cover it myself. Don't worry about
I literally just finished talking about it.
There is more Lufanias in JP than there are total C90 characters to be done. If you want to throw somebody in a limited time mission, go ahead and do it. It's fun. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's fun. I did it because it's fun, but it doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. Don't worry about that shit. I told you guys we had a busy night. I have been drinking IPAs, and so we're in a situation, and I want to be honest with everybody right now. I haven't done this event. Haven't beaten it at all. Let's go down to it. We haven't talked about the event at all, right?
Not
nope.
the Lamia Queen. We were just talking about Vanille.
Haven't talked about it at all.
We didn't actually talk about anything about what Noctis or Vanille do with their upgrades.
No, we did not.
Okay, well, Noctis is easy. His BT effect lasts longer and has shinier stuff, and he got reworked, so his skills hit harder.
Yeah, he actually has auras on his BT effect now. It's not just the follow-up like it was before.
But it's still the same old Noctis, just bigger numbers associated with it.
I think Noctis is a character who benefits a lot from C90 because his AA is like quite good, and so there's even more incentive to press it with the free skill from his EX.
That's a good point. Actually, that reminds me of I had a secret hot take that I've been saving for the stream. I think the reason that they made Onion Knight so bad is because they didn't want people abusing the hell out of giving people free C65s. They knew that those free AAs would break the game if Onion Knight could distribute those too freely, so they had to make him shitty so people wouldn't do that.
Who said he's shitty? His EX?
Me.
How many subs do we need to get that green?
Yeah.
No. It's fine.
You
It's
don't think
fine.
he's-
It's fine. We'll move on.
But
Onion
can green
Knight's
him right
not
now?
great. I have been a staunch Onion Knight supporter since his BT released. He literally saved my life in the Medusas. I was coming back off like a multiple month absence. We won't discuss why, but I was gone from the game for almost 4 months. And when I came back, Medusa's Lufania was there, and or a couple weeks after I came back. I think I came back for Guy. And Onion Knight got a really, really special place in my heart because those Medusas are miserable. So I've defended him. I used him in T6 because I love
which
him.
fight in T6?
Left, which didn't matter. Okay, you want to... All right. So okay, so some girl wanted to... All right, I see what you did, but I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm gonna move on. I used him in T6. I used him in the recent event where you had to use a Ice Enchanter with 2 overpowered units. I don't know who. Anyway, I'm a huge Onion Knight fan. I will do the Onion Knight breakdown. All of his skills, except for his new upgraded C90 EX and his LD,
Are bad.
They're single dump. No matter what you do to build him up, brave damage, HP damage, everything you want to do to build him up, it's a single dump. That's wretched. His EX is better, obviously, because he's C90. His LD, it gives you free skills on 2 other characters. Obviously, changes the turn order, which is fine, but it's just not good. I love him to death. I'll roll with him till the end. Onion Knight, you did me well, but phew, he's bad.
This is a classic case where it's possible to enjoy a character without having to insist the character is good. And it happens all the time. You're allowed to have a favorite who their tuning pass just didn't do it. Or they're old and are over the hill. Either way, it's fine. It's just part of the life cycle of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of characters, we did talk a bit about each of these guys when they came out. I don't want to go too deep into them again, the Null Onion Knight banners, but did either of you pull on either of them? And so, therefore, do you have any first-hand experience using either of them?
I blued Sarah's armor, and I got a 0 out of 5 Ultima Bow. So
Ooh.
I have used her quite a bit since in the past week or so, and she is fantastic. I am very pleased with that investment.
Spicy. I like that.
And I am going to green Null, but I don't have his BT yet, so I have not. I tried using him LD only, and he fucking sucked.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with Vayne where when I picked up his LDA, I was like, okay, I'll try him out. And I was like, ooh, this is gross, and put him to the side. And then later was like, okay, now get the BT, actually use the character as he's intended to be used with the full effect. We don't need to go into LD only. I know that's been a discussion recently. We're going to just drop that.
Right.
Oh, we don't want to go
although
into
I do
that?
actually,
I'm feeling
That's
violent.
all, that's all I'm going to say.
Let's go,
I
Lord.
think we're
Lord,
on the
let me
same-
know. Let me know. I'm a mad dog
We're-
on a chain. Let me off the chain if you want. If not, reel me in.
don't we all?
Let's throw
don't
it
we
to
all
Mark.
agree on? I
Throw
think
it
we
to
all
Mark.
agree on the same. Okay, we all agree on the same thing here. Just LD only units. Yeah, sure, you can complete the stage with them. It's not the optimal
I
thing.
couldn't.
We're gonna.
I tried. I couldn't beat Divine
Okay,
Ifrit with
okay.
the final.
All right, all right, all
Some
right.
of you. Oh God.
I'm
here
going
goes.
for it. Fuck it. Let
No,
me look at my
no,
camera. If you
Oh, God,
can
please don't
drag
do
a
this.
character through a fight right now in the fucking garbage time trash that we're in, that does not make them good. Period. If it's your favorite character, congratulations. If it's a character you didn't get the BT for and you're trying to explain, oh, this guy can work without his LD, yeah, guess what? You could probably get by without some characters 35 at this point and just not press that button. It's trash. garbage time. Okay? If you surround them with ridiculous supports and ridiculous power, you can beat anything with anyone. Okay? Get real. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And I pulled rank here. I have to tell everyone. It doesn't make you good. It doesn't make that character good. It just happens.
First of all, I want to say I think we're all on the same page here. We all agree with that. Secondly, I think Copamelo's doing a different variation of the redeem Chugabiri incentive that we used to have.
Which is fine, but this is not my first fucking rodeo, and I'd like to see the sub first, and the chug will come after. So let's be clear about that.
There we go. That's show business, baby.
I do want to kind of like agree with Raleigh there, though. You can carry any character through a fight if you surround them with enough power. Like, my favorite character in this game, as you can probably guess based on my avatar on the screen, is Lilith. She has not had a tuning pass in like 2+ years. I've run her in Lufania Plus sometimes and just carried her. It wasn't really that hard. Just bring enough power, you'll win. It's not a problem. That doesn't mean she's good, obviously.
She's right.
Yep.
And I'm
no,
right.
So we're all on the same page there. So, yeah, I think this is a discussion that's been beaten into the ground because we all care about this game a lot. We love talking about it, and a big part of talking about that is talking about the different characters and evaluating them, giving our opinions on them. And
all right,
sometimes those opinions are what do you call them? Wrong. That's the word.
It's 9:30. We haven't even started the fucking fight. Cope Mello, shout out for the fucking sub.
Let's do the fight.
Shout out for the sub. I'm gonna chug this beer because Cope. I told him it was an IPA, and this is what he does. You ready?
I guess we should be silent when he does this.
No,
I don't.
Okay, well that was just all right. That was Cope. You earned that. You earned that. You bought that was bought and paid for, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Let's
I hope
do
you're
it.
For the
happy.
support.
What's the strongest team? I need like Arciela. All right, let's go. Arciela. So you guys talk about this fight. It's basically
All right.
It's the twins. It's the twins fight reimagined. Some girl. Please go.
All right. So this is Lamia Queen. It is very, very, very similar to the fight that we got for the twins heretics with their Lufania Plus. Two things have changed. One is that fight had a Warrior of Light mannequin who would blow you up, I believe. Is that correct? That was Warrior of Light?
No, that was Garland. That was Garland.
Both of them did.
Garland event had a Warrior of Light
Twins.
that used Bitter Ant.
I thought that's
So did twins. Yeah, this one has twins and the
instead
twin
of Hope
version of the fight.
Okay, instead of Hope.
This
Yes.
replaced him with Hope. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're right.
That the twins fight had two mannequins, Warrior of Light and Pinello.
Yep.
Both of them would do AoE, like full HP damage to your party, and would probably one-shot you. Here they have replaced the Warrior of Light with Hope, who does not attack you. He buffs the entire enemy party with a significant defense buff. The other thing that's changed is the orb. The orb still has the same thing where it goes away at 50%. So it is possible to kind of race the orb a little bit, though it is 10 count. That's going to be a bit rough to completely rush it. But instead of having the condition of doing 850,000 damage, the condition is, well, there's two conditions. One is let the boss take a turn. It goes up by 2. The other one is to spell a buff and it goes up by 12. So bring a dispeller.
Arciela dispels.
She does.
Yep. Oh, Arciela is very good here.
She was great
got that
last time we
Beatrix.
fought these guys. She's good again.
All right, I haven't beat this fight at all. I can't even see 90 my Vanille or my Noctis because I haven't beat this fight. So let's go ahead and get it done. Mayorless, you gotta let him move because the orb is to debuff or to cleanse their buffs. Arciela does that. Pinello blows you up. Arciela HP silences them. So I have 2 slots. Let's go to chat. What do we do here? Arciela, and then the other 2 are up to everyone else.
I get it. Yeah.
All right. I mean, you know what I'm gonna say, right?
What?
Oh boy.
He's on the screen right now. You got to bring Palom.
No. Oh, come on! Not all right. Okay. No.
Got him.
No, I have already pulled Vanille on this, which I did not want at all. Blind Eye said Zidane. Honestly, I would love to get the Zidane saga. Let's talk about saga runners real quick. It's not that fun. Sometimes you get tired and you just don't want to do the fight again, and that's where I am with this shit. So I'm gonna bring him here, and this will be my saga run. Fuck it. So who's my third? It's got to be somebody who Zidane can do damage, but I'm gonna have to. These guys have high defense and high brave gain.
Very high, 90-90.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need a serious. Oh, I know what to do. Fuck this. Pain. Brave gain. Brave damage up. Right? What position do you put her in? Let's talk about this too. Left pain. I want to do it. Let's do it. I'll do it. I don't care. If people are upset.
I honestly kind of agree with you on this one.
If they're upset, then you know
I will
what?
agree with you on this.
Fuck you, honestly. Not you, Samegi. I agree with Samegi. But if you're upset, fuck you. Because here's the thing. Left pain, right pain. Okay, explain to me this. Left and right. So from behind, what you see some of the fight.
Okay,
every
I don't
time
agree
you
with this
move a
anymore. This is a dumb take.
Wait, I thought you agreed. Left pain, right pain.
What I would agree with is that they say left pain and right pain, and every time I'm putting pain in the party, I'm like, okay, is the top one or the bottom one gonna go to the left or right?
Okay, so we agree. I will change my tune a little bit. So we agree. It doesn't matter in the game. Left and right is obvious, but when you're making your team, just call it top pain and bottom pain. Like, you don't set up your team left to right when you're building a team. Why? Dave, 8711, what's up, Dave? Why make it left right instead of top bottom? That's what this is.
I have one reason for you.
Why?
Here's the thing. When I refer to to pain's position, I'll abbreviate it to L pain or R pain, because if I did it top and bottom, then it'd be B pain, which is fine, or T pain, which is definitely a copyrighted person and personality. That's a hip hop joke for those of you who it's a hip hop T-Pain. He's a musician. I don't know.
I think we all know who T-Pain is.
It's an extremely good joke. That was a very clever joke.
We know T-Pain, but we know who T-Pain is.
You guys should be laughing right now. I thought it was a very good joke.
We know who T-Pain is, but going hip hop for T-Pain is. I don't know if that's exactly.
I was on the spot there trying to justify my position. So thank you, Sabin6. I'm glad I have one supporter out there, one true Bl'Art fan who appreciated my extremely good joke.
Nah, fuck this. We're gonna destroy it. We're just gonna destroy it with I'm changing my team. I'm pulling rank. Fuck this. I'm just gonna bring
Yeah.
How do I destroy this fight, Samegi? Without worrying?
So this fight works a lot like the last time I fought these guys, where the main boss is really tanky. But the ads are not really tanky. So you're going to want to try to bring types of characters who can do AoE brave hits, and then either do like AoE HP damage or splash damage or something. So characters like the twins, obviously, this was their fight.
I'll
They're
bring a
very
twins.
good for that.
I'll bring a twins friend.
Yeah, twins friend is fantastic here. Zidane's not bad actually.
We'll throw up the prediction once the team is ready. Then
Cross in the chat. I am hammered. Cross in the chat. I gotta be real with y'all. Cross in the chat bringing up the twins fight, which I did live on the live stream with Zidane, and I kept deleting the Lamia. And that was a mistake.
Because this boss does still have the mechanic where if you take 10 turns in a row, she will cleanse and warp.
Wait, what?
That's what it had last time.
No, it didn't have. No, it didn't. The twins
Yeah,
fight did not have 10 turns.
It did. It was 12 turns for the Vayne fight, then 10 for the twins fight.
Oh, the Vayne fight.
What? No, this fight
Rafflesia?
had the twins fight had the Lamia Queen. If you took 10 turns in a row, the Lamia Queen warped her turn and cleansed debuffs.
Okay, so
You did this fight.
I know I did it live with Zidane.
I've got the pressure.
All right, I'm nervous as fuck. Haven't beaten this fight yet.
And
How do
the
we do
prediction
this?
is now live, so hopefully you got to not let your supporters down.
Oh, you're gonna do the fight
Hey.
before I pick teams. That's fine with me because I will completely change the team and pick
It's-
the most broken team
Honest-
possible.
Hey,
Honestly,
actually, I do have a
at this
question for
point-
you, Ra. Does your paint have high armor? Because it's not equipped if you do.
No, I don't. Does it need it? I haven't used her once. I got her LD, and I haven't used her one time. And you want me to be honest? Why? There's my camera.
Because you don't understand the
I
left
don't,
and
I
right
don't
mechanic.
understand. I don't understand. I'll be completely honest and vulnerable in this moment with all of our friends, and our followers. I don't understand. I don't know what left and right is. I know top, bottom, middle, and I don't know like if you put her in the middle, does she do like half of each?
Correct.
If you do left, like or bottom, like. She's hard. She's hard.
Yeah.
I don't
so
understand her.
It's
Generally, slot 3 is focused on party support. It's got huge brave gain and brave damage.
Oh
Auras,
fuck! Oh fuck! The whole game has changed now. Dave has just let me know he believes in me, and he put 6,869 points in the pool for first try. So,
oh my goodness, Dave.
if anyone wants to put in the chat the very strongest team, like the most broken, just cheat the whole system team with a twins friend, I will do it. And that's what you guys get for voting against me. Before
Do it for Dave.
I'll do it for
bring
Dave.
Machina.
So
At this point, I've decided. I was trying to
I don't have-
decide,
I don't have
like,
a
should
solo,
it be before the team, after the team, whatever. And I decided you guys have
pay
10 minutes to vote, so you pick when you get to put your points in there. So you have plenty of time to pick based on your confidence in Raw's ability and the team that's been figured out. We'll see how it goes.
All right, so for Raw Life, Payton
I don't
in
have
that
a solo.
slot where you have her right now,
Mhm.
she can give the party what 40% brave gain up.
So this is left paint.
Yes, that is left Payton.
Yes.
Bottom
Party
is left.
support,
Bottom is left.
correct.
Top is right. Okay, I get it. That's how good I am at
Yes.
this game. I now that some
You
girl
will
has
you will need the characters to the right of her, Machina and Arciela in this case, to buff themselves for a total of 20 buffs,
okay, Machina has like 2. Well, wait.
including calls. Those calls count.
Okay, so
Those are 2 very good calls for inflicting a lot of buffs.
Arciela buffs a lot, but that's
Yeah.
Machina is not a big self buffer.
Yeah, he is.
How many?
You'll press LD once. You'll press
Oh, awakening.
Awakening.
I'll press awakening on the free
Yeah, you'll
skill.
get there.
Okay.
You'll use that Saz call. You'll use that Kate Sith call.
Wait,
you'll
wait,
get
wait,
to
wait,
max it out.
wait. We're in a crisis right now. What the fuck does the number of buffs have to do with paint?
She has a stacking effect.
Okay.
People to her right increase her stacks when they apply buffs.
Above her. People above her on
Yes.
the team select screen, whenever they buff, every 2 buffs that they give the party, Payne's stacks go up by 1. Reverse of that, every party member below Payne on the party select screen, every debuff they apply on the enemy, or every 2 debuffs they apply on the enemy, takes your stacks up by 1. And it doesn't have to be at the same time. If you do one turn and one the next turn, it'll go
Total
up by
buffs
1.
and debuffs.
Fuck this.
Like I said,
can't believe we're
you
explaining
don't
Payne
really need to.
on
You really need
January
to worry about
17th
it
in the year
because you
2022.
have Kate
Why?
Sith and Saz call.
Why don't
That'll
you?
do it
why?
for you.
I haven't used her. I haven't needed her.
You gotta,
Like I said,
you gotta be
higher
up
roll
to
will definitely
speed here.
help for the slight defense down. You don't need it with this team probably, but
I just bought her Lufania armor because I don't give a shit.
Honestly,
Alright.
a little bit of defense down never hurt no one. And
Yeah.
and Payne is
Better.
really funny on Zero Eye Brave, and that armor will help.
I'm not blowing it.
You
you
don't
can.
need to
You
blow
actually
it.
also funny thing about that Bl'Artagnan is you actually can. I think Zero Eye Brave and M Brave the mannequins.
Yes, no, I was doing that myself in a run I was recording earlier. Actually, if you for the
That's
long-time viewers of
copyrighted.
Livestream,
That's-
you may recall
Yeah.
that Raw himself pioneered the Zero M Brave on the
I
Twins
remember that.
mannequins
Oh my
tech.
Yes.
god.
Yes, and everyone tried to say it was an accident. Everyone was like, "Oh,
It was.
he just." No, I did the math with a calculator, and I said, "This is the amount of Embrave down that I need on debuffs to keep these mannequins as. I'd like to point out the Lamia also had 0 max brave. Do you guys remember that?
Yep.
True.
Do you guys, you know that the Zach Galifianakis in the Hangover math meme, like there's the gif of him with the numbers? That was raw, basically.
Right.
Hey, Life, since you're such a numbers expert in this game, how much
Okay.
Embrave down does the Dawn bring to the party?
30. 30.
I don't know whether that's true or not, but I appreciate
30.
the swiftness of your response.
It's 30. It's 30. What is it? Wait, okay, some girl she clearly knows.
I'm checking. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
30. It's 30.
It's 40.
Is it? Fuck!
That was actually pretty close.
Somebody in chat tell me what does no, he brings Mino said it's 0. It's not 0. He has
Beast
Embrave
Mark is
down
40% attack.
he has Embrave down on 2 of
Beast
his
Mark.
debuffs. He has Thief's Mark and he also has I think it's 30. Is it not 30?
Oh, I mean, also doesn't with his armor would also do another 10, wouldn't it?
Zidane does have debuff armor, I think. Wait.
This is goofy stuff.
This doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, this is. I don't know why we're debating this right now.
He has Valor Brilliance. Damn, he doesn't. He has Selfish.
No, that's the debuff would be on the
base armor.
non-blue armor.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do the fight.
Yeah, we
For the
gotta
record,
finish this fight.
you did bring this upon us. This was your doing.
Lily just corrected me.
Okay.
It's actually 40% attack and Embrave. Whatever. 30 was close enough. 10%. If you're gonna notice 10%, then
I got to say, Rob, the people at this point overwhelmingly do support you in this endeavor. So take that.
Wow.
Be confident as you go
I
into
think some
this.
people are already making a lot of channel points today.
let me ask you guys something. I have no Brave gain. I've seen a bunch of. I have a bunch of Arciella.
Yes,
Machina,
yes. It,
You have
Machina.
Pain. She has
Pain
40%
gives-
brave gain
Pain
up.
does.
Okay, we're good then. We're good. I can't use 2 Saz calls though. Let's just get this done. Let's get this done. I want to support my friends. The people who believed in me, I want them to get their points. So we're gonna beat this. Let's go. Kate Sith, Saz will give some buffs. Let me ask you guys something.
Yeah.
When the buffs fall off from the calls, does that lower Pain's like
No.
total?
That is
It
pretty
doesn't?
funny, actually. Sorry, no, I'm just reading chat and just noticing something.
Mm. So they're gonna move
Anyway,
a lot.
sorry. What?
They're gonna move a lot. So Jack Call is useless. I could do Fran Call and refresh it. I'll do Fran Call, and I'll refresh it. Is that good?
Do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do this.
It's a free country.
I don't
It's
know.
gonna-
If
it's
I'll be able
gonna-
to do this.
before-
I'm
before-
struggling. Fuck it. Let's go.
Honestly, it's before you hit go. It's gonna kill my OCD if I don't tell you this. You haven't equipped Pain's high armor yet.
I wasn't going to tell him.
I wasn't gonna either, but it's just seeing the plus sign on the armor is driving me nuts.
Shit! I just bought it.
I had to. I think this is the one piece of advice I'm gonna offer you during this run is just equip the armor.
Thank you so much. That actually, honestly, you know what? Everybody in chat who didn't tell me, fuck off. Asolo Rogue told me. And that's it.
Oh, yeah, solo rogue.
A solo rogue. Thank you so much for letting me know. Everyone else, that was really.
That's
rude.
that's my one bit of advice for you. I think here.
Her thing is.
I believe in you.
Ariadne advice.
Attack.
Honestly, wipe.
What's her good? What's her best in slot? Attack 108 and then C 50. Yeah.
I think she wants HP 1020, I Brave 170.
All right. Okay. All right. We're done. Let's be real. I'll be honest with you guys. I have not used Pain yet. So if I fuck this run up, it's not my fault. They put Pain in the wrong slot. Take off unobtained. We're gonna sphere her because any character,
Oh, yeah. That's
any
all that
character
matters.
that doesn't sphere, that's not sphered, is not gonna perform correctly. Oh, she's got 2 A's. We're good.
Yeah, she's gonna do so much more damage.
The spheres.
Raise his own
You want-
attack
you
by
want-
8%.
Actually, I will give you sphere suggestions if you want.
Yes, please. Spheres matter. Please help me.
All right, give her that Bane RF for sure.
Chat, if some girl is lying, please let me know in chat because I'm paying attention to chat. So we're gonna do Vayne. One more. Wait, what did it do? When attacking a target afflicted with break. Okay, so brave damage up. She's probably gonna cap anyway, right? No, this is a high defense fight. High. All right.
What other spheres do you have? Scroll through that list. I'll pick one out for you. You're scroll down through the list.
So this way we can go into the fight knowing that I've helped him by giving him an additional 20% defense down the boss, and some girls helped him by
Lion
giving him an
Lion
additional
RF.
like.
Twins,
Yeah, just-
Jegrin,
Lion
Kais.
RF.
Who?
Lion refined sphere.
Okay. Sneak. Wait, what if it's attacking her? What if it's targeting her?
Did you read what it does?
Raise the
It's a
own attack
permanent
bonus.
boost. You need to not be targeted twice.
All right, we'll do that. And then E-Sphere. I don't have any Emperor Spheres or Seymour Spheres left. These actually.
Do you have
Give her her
That's
own
all
art
you
refined
have?
sphere.
Thancred,
her own
her own sphere is good. Pain sphere is good.
Thancred, Sarah, Pain.
Please
RF.
just give her the pain
Pain
sphere so we
RF.
can get into the fight.
Pain RF. Get it done. Her own RF sphere.
All right, let's do this fight. I'm assuming that Pain is easy to use because her overhead doesn't fall off.
This is definitely true.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah,
Win the fight.
we gotta do this fight. Shout out to Kusame. Let's get this done.
All right. Well, here goes nothing. The bets are in, and we're off to the races.
All right.
So what's you gonna do, Raw?
I want to use all of Machina's skills like instantly. I mean, I want to get Machina's BT effect up and then burst with it like as soon as possible. And then right?
I
I
don't know.
told you my contribution here was to give you that pain high armor tip.
My contribution was the spheres. I contributed nothing.
Okay, I'm going to just do it fast.
Just do it fast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it fast. I'm going to switch... Once I get the HP silence on Arciela, I think I'm going to switch her for Twins. And then once Twins are on the field with their BT effect up, I'm going to burst with Machina and HP+. Is that right? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I mean, all I'll say is it
Chat,
looks like
all right,
chat does have your
that's
back,
fine.
and they're
Yeah,
trying
chat.
to give you the
Yeah,
help.
chat. If you voted for me, I'll be totally honest with you. I'm hammered. I have no idea. I'm being totally honest. I have no fucking idea. So if you want to not lose your wait,
Oh boy.
okay, that doesn't count.
Okay, this can't be.
Let's get a ruling. Let's get a ruling.
No, this.
Okay.
No, the people who bet on this could not be asked to account for that.
No,
you
fine.
fix that right now.
Yeah, that's
What the
not
hell?
gonna count. All right. Anyway, we're about to go into the
Jesus
fight.
Lord.
We're about to go into the fight for the first time. If you voted for me, please in the chat be vocal. Let me know. Wait. Oh my God! I right click. Oh my God! I right clicked the
dear.
wrong thing, and now it's like asking me for a controls editor. Okay. Let me know in chat what to do, because let me ask you guys something. What fucking event was I doing that I needed to take off literally all
I don't know.
of Arciela's attack, all of her skills, every skill.
How did you do that?
All right, Shadowheart, who's in the chat. All right, that one didn't count. Obviously, we're not. I'm sorry. You cannot
That
vote.
was
You can't vote for
wow.
Pain.
That was astounding.
Alrighty then.
All right.
This only raises further questions.
Oh, that was really funny.
There had to be some event. There had to be some event where it was good to take off all of RCL's stuff. Oh my God,
What
Pain
event-
is first. Pain is first. I don't know how to use Pain.
Oh god.
Well, it's a good thing. The game tells you how to use all your characters if you just hover over their skills.
The orb means they have to move, right? I'm actually.
I don't know. Read the game.
I don't even care. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna go to Pain, Tonberry Troop website, infographic.
Okay?
I have to know how to use her because it's not
okay,
fair
how
for me
about
not to like I literally have never used Pain.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
I've never
Okay.
used Pain. So let's
You-
even in her
alright,
EX iteration, I never used her.
Okay.
It'll be quick. So how to play?
I can give you a quick rundown if that'll be
Alright.
helpul.
Okay.
In the meantime,
you go ahead while I
characters we
read.
still haven't talked about.
I feel like if
Do we?
I talk over it, well,
We still haven't actually said anything about. We did briefly talk about Noctis. We didn't say anything about Vanille.
Oh, you talk about Vanille because you're a big Vanille fan.
Vanille's being delayed again in the stream
stream.
discussion.
We were too busy watching this train wreck.
It's really compelling stuff. This is television right here.
Should I talk about Vanille now? I guess while
You
Raw
know what?
researches.
Yeah, talk about Vanille. Give us the lowdown on Vanille while Raw does his
I don't know.
work.
It doesn't make sense. It just said to put her on the left. I put her on the left. Fuck it.
See if she.
All
All you
just
need to
press
know
buttons.
it just press buttons. Her Dispel is on her LD, and her skill 1's the thing that applies her the debuff, which she starts with.
So Vanille came out.
She did indeed. Tell us more about this Vanille. I know we've heard a lot about her.
So, what about Vanille? She came out with a rework and a C90. The rework was relatively minor. Her base skills are still single dumps. They have a lot more splash now, including full AoE on skill 2. She got an LD, gives her a buff that brings party kind of standard auras, 40% brave damage, 20% HP damage. But there is a conditional on that, which is one condition. Is half of the auras are tied to the enemy has to have a debuff. Any debuff, doesn't matter. As long as any enemy has a debuff, you get that aura. And the other ones, the enemy has to have no buffs, which she does a great job of enabling because she dispels a lot. She is a very, very powerful, consistent dispeller. But the real meat of what she got is on her C90. Her EX is now an AoE triple dump, which applies a one-turn trap to every enemy. And when that trap goes off, it does a double dump full AoE HP damage to the enemies. So if you're counting the total dumps there, that is, in a 2-target fight, a total of 7 HP dumps, which is a lot. And her EX is up every other turn, because it is a very fast-charging EX. So, while her skills still feel pretty bad, I mean, single dumps in the current era, always not going to feel great.
Oof.
She does have the very powerful EX going for her, and you got to press it a lot.
She seems to be, from what I'm seeing, kind of a continuation of a trend that kind of started with Onion Knight a little bit. And I'm seeing again, as I'm looking forward to like Queen and Cater, and we have a number of characters here who I think have a lot of their on-turn damage power tied to their EX, because I'm looking at, Onion Knight, obviously, we talked about him, his skills are jank, and his offensive power comes from his EX. Vanille has that every other turn EX that's very powerful. We got, who would I just say? Queen, obviously, her skills are kind of dookie, but her EX is really, really strong. And then I was watching some Cater footage, and not to jump ahead of us too much, but I think that is in a couple of days. Cater's new deal is she gets these charge shots on her turn that can deal like 4 to 500k on which is not terrible. That's like I view that as like good support damage. But her EX now does like a bunch of damage and is up like every couple turns. So I think that in these early C90s, I'm seeing a pattern of them really trying to make characters who are used to having their EX up often want to press that button because it's going to be the best button to press,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna die.
I don't know.
I didn't check the orb.
Just keep playing.
You got this. Just play it out, man. I believe in you.
Cancel HP falls below 50. Does it come back? It doesn't come back.
Does it say that anywhere?
Yeah, that's the Twins fight, my guy.
Oh,
It doesn't
we're
come
good.
back.
Oh, this was easy. Pay the people who voted for me. This is over. This is literally over.
I will do no such thing. Not at this
Pay
time.
the people who voted for me because this is over.
Not there yet, my man.
No, it's over. The orb's gone. All right, we're good. All right, y'all keep going, but we won.
I hope you're all very.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I pulled for Vanille because she's one of my favorite characters. I kind of expect her to be like pretty bad because that seemed to be like the community consensus, but I've been pretty pleasantly surprised. Her EX feels really good, and it's up all the time. She's an EX spammer, and she has a very nice EX right now. So she's not amazing, obviously. You have characters who do the same stuff she does, obviously, if you've been playing the game for longer than a week. But she's fun. She's pretty good for current power levels, and I'm going to use her a lot.
I mean, that's some good stuff. The issue I've had with Vanille since kind of learning about her kit and seeing her with her being in the news, of course, looking her up, has been that she feels a little redundant. She doesn't really offer anything outside of just doing a bunch of stuff, fairly conventional stuff fairly well.
Yeah, that's true.
But which is, I mean, the thing is she does it competently, so it comes down to, if you want to use her, that's actually great because she's going to slot into a lot of teams and do things that need to be done. Battery, auras, debuffs, dispel is always handy. So I guess it comes down to I think a lot of the Vanille's kind of meh take comes from the fact that most of the people making those takes are veteran players who probably don't need Vanille in their roster, and when they're evaluating character, they're looking in the context of, would I need this to advance my roster to the next level? That said, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that she's here because I know you've been waiting for ages for her, and it is a long overdue arrival.
Yeah.
Although I will say that, goddamn, I was a little sad that Prompto C90 wasn't here because I was looking forward to using him with his C90. I was kind of hoping that both would be on the banner and it would just be a fun little everyone gets what they want kind of moment.
That would have been nice, but
It's okay. We'll get Prompto C90 on the Layla banner, I guess.
I've got to be honest. I completely I did. I'm sorry. I over planned, and I worried too much about this fight. I guess it is still garbage time if you bring a completely overpowered team like I did. Surprise, you will win incredibly easily. But if you don't bring an incredibly overpowered team, you may not win easily. So, keep that in mind.
you just got turn warp on.
Yeah, just keep that in mind.
It doesn't matter. They literally. Oh wait, actually, wait a second. Pinello does have no HP silence because
Yeah.
my summon's ready. It's over.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was gonna be really funny.
Yeah, she died. I killed Pinello, and then she came back, obviously without the HP silence. So if I didn't summon there, she could have actually got a turn and killed me. The fight literally comes down to making sure that Pinello is HP silenced, except for teams that burst the orb down to 0. burst the orb down to 50%. It doesn't really matter.
Worth mentioning, yeah.
I didn't-
DX is actually pretty good.
I didn't have to really pay attention to the fight, so that was my fault. I overplanned, and yeah, it is still garbage time. But good for them. I mean, this fight was basically a reskin. Not even a reskin. It was a copy of the Twins fight. They changed the orb. They changed a little bit. But, you know, they've given us the tools. They've given us such strong tools at this point that there's nothing they can really do to make a fight incredibly difficult without just completely screwing the people who skipped those tools. Machina, Pain, Vanille might get a turn. Wait, if you kill the main, she has HP.
The fight does not end.
Well, she has HP attack disable, so it really doesn't matter. They've given us access to tools that are so powerful, that they really have backed themselves into a corner, content-wise. Nothing you do or nothing they do is going to be tough if you use the strongest possible units. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to. I'm sure there are restrictions that could be placed that would make the fight a bit more such that a completely inebriated Raw Life would struggle with it. But this clearly was not one of those cases with Machina Green, Pain, and
Yeah.
Tarsi shutting down the boss. The one danger from it.
Yeah, it's just we're at a point. I mean, there have been many points in the history of the game where even with the strongest teams, it was still going to be a little tough. This is not one of those points. With the strongest teams, it's child's play, which is fine. You got to make your own fun.
A game for children. Who would have thought of such a thing?
Right? All right, we won. Pay the people out. Stop doubting.
you know, like a
bandit.
Stop
My
doubting
money.
me. Mino.
What?
Hey, buddy.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, if they kept the orb, that would have been great. Goes away and strats are allowed again. What the game really needs to do to ever be challenging is to not allow no turning, like completely shut it down.
Yeah, basically whatever your team comp is, if you can beat the fight without letting them move, they've given us so many tools at this point. It's not going to be tough for a veteran. But you also have to think about them as developers. The devs are not going to build us a fight that's so tough, even for... Wait a second, my fucking...
Would be funny if it turns out we never see the perfect screen and I have to redact that prediction I just called out.
My game is froze. My game's froze. But they've given us so many tools at this point that it's really a tough... It's tough for them to come up with any kind of fight that's going to be tough for everyone without being impossible for
There are lots of ways they could do it, and they've done it in the past. I just think they deliberately don't want to do this. And I think we were talking about this earlier, but I think this game is just deliberately very easy because there are fights in the past that you actually have to deal with mechanics. Do you guys remember Alexander Lufania? You take two turns in a row, you just stop doing damage. You just stop doing damage.
Yeah. I kind of missed that mechanic a little bit, if I'm being honest. Like, with Ifrit, I appreciated that, at 50% frames the turns and says, okay, no, you have to start dealing with, admittedly not the most punishing stuff, but you have to start dealing with the boss, even if it's just having a way to survive the HP attacks.
Yeah, and there are fights where, I think in some of the Hell months, there were fights where if you took too many turns in a row, you just die. The boss should be like, no, fuck you. 12 turns in a row, I'm just gonna kill you. Like, they can do that.
The Reno boss had a really cool mechanic with the mist where you'd tick at certain thresholds, it gave you like the HP poison until you gave it a turn.
Yeah. Like stuff like that where they really can shut down no turning, but I legitimately think no turning makes them like people will pay for power to not have to interact with the boss.
in a weird sort of way, some of the most fun I've been having recently has been figuring out how to use the power to do that, but in a non-conventional way. Like it's one thing to use like a Garland or a Kesis to just send the bosses turns into oblivion or like lock them down with HP silence. But I like in this fight, I was trying to figure out a way to to kill them within Machina burst phase before the orb goes off, basically.
Yeah. Which I feel is a legitimate way to enjoy the game, right? Like,
is that yeah.
yeah.
And I didn't feel cheap for doing it because it was tight execution. I had to do like little things like I had to make sure it lined up just so, and that felt very good because even though I was ignoring the mechanics, I was doing so in a way where I felt I was actually executing decision-making skills in order to make it happen.
But that's also what we were talking about earlier, Raw, where I feel like if we're going to do like challenges and have fun pushing ourselves, it should be pushing at the highest level instead of adding a ton of restrictions until it's like forcefully difficult. Like I like your thing of, right, let's use the tools we get to their utmost potential.
Yeah, but like at this point, if you're having fun with a challenge, that's fine. But we're at a point, as you guys just saw. Like I said, I'm hammer drunk. But I use.
He is very drunk. Like I can confirm this.
I used 3 of the best characters you could possibly use. I used Arciella. In the end, I actually didn't need Arciella. If you think about it, I could have put another like. I don't know who I could have put there because Arciella barely moved, but I could have put basically anybody there because Pinello Mannequin never got a turn. They have essentially given us tools that are so powerful at this point. As a developer, I don't see a way that they could have made that they can make these fights genuinely difficult for vets while also making them passable for newer players. If anyone can correct that, I would love to hear it. But I don't think there's a way.
I kind of disagree because I think there is already inherently a mechanic that makes fights a lot easier for newer players, which is synergy.
Right.
You could just pull for the featured character, get a massive stat boost, and get a character who checks all the mechanics.
Right, but for like this fight, is that Noctis or it's Vanille, I guess?
Oh yeah, Vanille's fantastic here. She's got those full AoE traps. She's got like a bunch of AoE damage.
Say you're a new player though, with a 55 turn limit. If they made this fight any harder, and you go pull for Vanille, what are the other 2 slots going to be filled with? That's going to beat this in fight.
BT plus.
Machina. Yeah. I mean Machina, sure, but it's a tough.
Noctis BT plus dominates it too.
But 10 turns in a row.
You have to avoid the turn warping.
Exactly, 10 turns in a row. And
you can play around though.
You don't have Arciella. You don't have Kefka. You have no HP silence. And 10 turns later,
bring a tank.
I'll fall on my age-old argument of who cares if new players can't beat Lufania Plus. You're talking about a player who literally started today. You're like, well, what about the guy who installed the app today and can't fucking do Lufania Plus? Go fuck you.
That doesn't really fly.
Yeah, that's the stupidest fucking argument in the world.
No, that is a great point, which I feel like DFFOO devs have completely missed on. They want everything to be accessible, which I understand. For money wise, you want everything to be accessible to a relatively new player. They do not build these fights based on vets. They don't build these fights based on. Maybe it'll change when the force weapons come out. Maybe it'll change, and the fights will be more tough. I don't play JP, so I can't speak to that. But right now, the developers are terrified of making a fight that a relatively new player can't beat with 3 of the last 3 released characters. You have Noel BT, you have Snow LD, and you have Vanille LD. It's easy. I mean, it's.
You keep saying there's no way to do it, but I'm telling you, if you just make every fight immune to damage after a handful of consecutive turns, then for new players, that wouldn't make much of a difference because they're going to be playing it through it normally with synergy stats anyways. And for vets, they actually have to fucking engage the fight. That's all you have to do. Make every single fight immune to damage after 8 or so consecutive hits. That's it.
So the boss has to move for you to even do any damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, obviously they hit upon that as a thing to do, and it hasn't really shown up a whole lot since. I feel like they must have felt like the player reaction was very negative, which I don't think that's a fault of the mechanic. I think it's you'd probably agree with me on this. It's probably a fault of the player base a little bit. I know but you talked a bit about the FFNs. I think I kind of agree in some ways about how it's not being viewed as a problem to be worked around.
It's a fan service game. It's not a skill based game, and that's the whole thing.
You could say that.
If they wanted to make it tough, they could. I feel like they're afraid to make it too hard. They can make it hard.
Yeah, I agree.
All the people who are in our Discords, probably there's 55 people in here right now. Probably everybody in here would not have an issue if they made it a lot harder. But you guys don't understand. What you miss when you look at the business aspect is they want to make it accessible, which I understand.
Well,
here's
kind of a...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Some girl.
Okay. The thing I want to say is, like,
and then throw it.
You have to also, like, keep this in context with fights being too hard. Like, do you all remember the response when Lufania Plus first dropped in JP? Yeah. There was like 8 million Doom posting videos, like, about how this is like the worst. These are like horribly designed fights. I mean, some of those videos got kind of memed on in the community, but like, people don't want content to be too hard.
Right.
They just don't.
A majority of the group. A majority of the player base. Bart, what were you gonna say?
I've heard in a couple of places that DFFOO isn't a skill-based game, and I kind of want to push back on that just a little bit, because there is, people talk about skill and then compare it to fighting games or first-person shooters or MMOs even, and those are a lot of that. A lot of that comes down to kind of hand-eye coordination, reflex, kind of knowing how to position yourself physically in space, which is a skill. But I think DFFOO does execute it. Does require, as I mentioned before, decision-making skills, which are a skill in and of itself. I don't think it's an especially intensive one, but I think there's a baseline that you can expect your players to have when you're making a model where, they advertise I forget the ad put it, but they're, engaging turn-based combat type whatever, and that what that means is it's this game isn't this isn't your standard Final Fantasy RPG where you can just use tenacity, perseverance, or like, I don't know, a script or something to get yourself up to level 99 and just power your way to the fight. There's a ceiling where at some point you are now at the power the game expects you to be at, and now you have to execute your decision-making skills in order to complete content.
Right.
And I think it's a reasonable thing for the game to ask that of players. Hey, you need to be able to understand the game mechanics and make decisions according to what the situation of the fight and what your team is, and yada yada yada. So I do think that just saying, it's a fan service game, there's no skill involved, I think that's patently false, and I think that's not giving the nature of the game enough credit. I think there is room in there for the highest level of content, the most difficult stuff, to actually be a challenge and to actually be allowed to be a skill-based game in the context of decision-making. And then from there you can say, okay, well, how much is too much? Because then you get into the unified asking too much of players thing. And I think there's a line to be drawn where it's like, okay, this is asking too much. The knife, you're asking too much of a knife edge walk sort of situation here with this. That kind of difficulty, not so great. But I think right now we're really far from that mark, and we can push that, the 10 turn no damage thing. I think that's a restriction we work with, and we have not felt compelled to quit the game because of it. I think that's a realm within which we can work and still enjoy the game and kind of engage with it, and not just mindlessly blow through everything because we don't have to make decisions. We just get to blow it up because it's a fan service game. See what I'm saying?
Right. And I want Mino to give his opinion, but I want to speak. Mino, what do you think as far as that's
I think I know Bl'Art was addressing something said earlier, but I've honestly talked to death with a lot of people, so it's fine. I don't need to address that.
No worries, no worries.
No, it's not a big deal. No, it's not a big deal, Raw. I'm just saying, like, in one sentence, I just think there's a knowledge check and a skill check.
Right.
And then, like I said before, like the reason why I don't consider RPGs on that, because you can literally read and follow a script to beat most RPGs. But what I meant about like, oh, DFFOO is a fan-based game, so it should be easy, etc. Look at all the other Final Fantasy gacha games. They are much stricter and much more difficult and make much more money. Like, I feel like DFFOO exists for the people who won't play those games, or those games are too hard for them, like War of the Visions or Brave Exvius. Those are like really intense fucking games. Like, if you look at their end game, it's way fucking nuts, and the rates are super fucking terrible, right? Like, it is actually brutal. Can have insanely difficult turn-based games. There's tons of single-player RPGs that are actually very, very brutally difficult. And even in like Record Keeper, right? Like you still have the whole, oh, let's put a team together, let's do all this, but then there's also execution in there because that's ATB. So your reflexes do actually matter in games like that. So like, I don't think, oh, it's an FF fan service game, so it has to be easy. What is every other gacha in the world, right? Like all the Dragon Ball Z gachas and all the Bleach gachas, they're very, very, very fucking difficult. Like, insanely more difficult, and the systems are way more convoluted. Like, I feel like the people who take that stance with DFFOO only play DFFOO, right? They've never played endgame other gacha games or live. Like, this is very out of the ordinary for DFFOO to pander this low.
But you have to. This is my only counter argument to that, is that we have played this game for so fucking long. All four of us in this, we've played this game for so long, and
I haven't.
Well, but honestly, you have though.
No, Bl'Art and Somegi have played like a year.
That's kidding? A long time. This is my whole point. That's a long time. To stick with a gacha is a long time. We are so involved in the community. We're in Discords. We're in infographic. We see the infographics the moment they come out. We're so involved in the community. I think we kind of lose sight to like the common player. The number of players who are at the level that we are, even me who sucks at this game. I played this game for so goddamn long. I have every role that you could imagine covered twice. So
go ahead.
Can I push back on that a little bit? So when I first started playing the game, it was October of 2019 with Arden's BT cycle. That's when I started playing the game.
That's a long time.
And within a month, I was clearing endgame content. I have not missed a single Lufania in the entire time that Lufania has existed. I cleared every single Lufania on release as a brand new player because I pulled for Lightning and just trivialized everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: how
struggled at all to carry Lightning through content for like 3 months in a row?
Yeah, Rob. Let me push back before we throw it back to you too.
Okay, all right.
Real quick.
Okay.
Everyone in chat is agreeing. Like, when they play other gachas, there's no way in hell you expect to complete the end game within the first 6 months of picking up the game. DFFOO is so out of the ordinary, and you are proving my point, basically. In your words, you are not that great a player, but you're no. I'm not. That's not an insult. But like, let's say
I feel you. Keep going.
You let's say you have no idea what this fight is you're going into, and you've done zero fucking research. You don't even know how your characters work. Your two co-hosts just have to give you a hint on who to bring, and you can win the first time every time. That's how easy I think this game is, and that's how non-skill based I think RPGs are, because they don't even have to tell you explicitly who to bring, but like just some off comment by Somegi saying Arciela shuts this fight down. You're like, okay, let me bring Arciela. The worst case is even if you gave them turn, this fight wouldn't have hurt you at all if you had the one fucking character. And if you don't, Machina BT, just go green into summon into burst and the fight's over as well. Like, I really cannot defend this game as taking any skill whatsoever. What Bl'Art's talking, I really think is a knowledge check. And when I say knowledge check, I mean anyone can tell somebody who to bring and the fight's over. That's it. All it is bring the right people.
Right. Bl'Art, what were you going to say?
I do think that in this state of the game, there is like a kind of I guess you call it an event horizon that, like Mina's talking about, where basically once you bring a certain level of power, the fight becomes trivialized, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Is I think there's room for it to be more than that, but it's not right now. On a side
it's
note,
absolutely
actually,
not.
we actually got a couple of point redemptions for questions I wanted to quickly address before we get back to what has turned into a very meaty discussion. I don't want to curtail this.
Check the comments real quick. Let us.
So real quick, the first, I'm actually going to read them in reverse order because the first one's quicker. Shadowheart asking if there's been a time when synergy stat characters were worse than the other characters available at the time.
No. No.
Well, my first thing would be Lightning during the Sephiroth BT cycle was probably better than he was during his own event. But
I mean, there's been like specific
not
one character for one fight, sure, but in general, no. It's if you've had the three. I mean, Lufania kind of changed it with the Lufania orb, but even then, they normally build the orb around one of the synergy characters. If you've had a synergy team, almost without question, you've been able to fully.
Of course, this is of course ignoring outliers like an Aranea who crushes an entire era by herself. Unless there's any like counter points or pushback, I'm going to jump to the next question for the sake of speed. Cross asks, do you guys think that this fight was worse than when we got it initially? And Ross, since you just played through it, what do you think?
I think because of the power level that we have access to, which they have given us over the course of the last couple months, BT Plus and BT Plus Friends, no, it wasn't. My whole argument about DFFOO is the power level that they have given us. Based on actual mechanics, yes, just side by side, yes, this is harder. But when you think about the power, even just through your Friends unit, that a BT Plus provides, guys, I had no idea I hadn't done the fight yet. I brought a super powerful team, and I got them from 100 to 50, where the orb goes away without them moving, because of the power of BT Plus. This game has suffered from the power they give you compared to the power or the difficulty of the content more than any game I've ever played. So no, this wasn't harder, but only because.
Yeah, I mean, like, to put it in perspective, Raw, you still know what that fight does.
I don't. I don't. I skipped the whole order. I know you have to
like
dispel.
What does the Hope Mannequin do, Raw? Do you know?
No, you have to. I know that Vanille kills you if she moves. I know that the point
What
of
else
the
does
fight,
she do? She has 3 different attacks. What do they do?
Exactly. I have no idea. I know you're supposed to try to dispel buffs, but I don't know. I mean, they give you a power not only through your own roster but through a friend unit that's so high that it completely removes any danger from a fight, any fight they give us at this point, which is.
So this actually dovetails nicely into a kind of a related topic then, because I was curious, because I actually, much like Raw, I mocked it through the fight and afterwards was like, I have no idea what this fight does, or did, I guess, because it's dead now. And so I was like, let's find out what this fight does. And so what I did was I went in with no synergy, no BT, and I actually have a video I'll be posting probably tomorrow after I do the commentary for it, the no synergy, no BT run, to kind of see and interact more with the fight. And it did. I got to find out what the fight did. I got to find out, okay, here are the situations in which I can die during this, and here's what I have to respect, and here are the decisions I have to make to get through this, as opposed to just following mocking a burst rotation, so to speak, including the setup, because his rotation is one move. But I guess, I feel like that's been another hot topic lately, has been that idea of kind of making up for this power imbalance, which very clearly exists. We just saw huge evidence of it, and trying to make your own challenge to make up for that.
Yeah, it's tough. We're in a tough place where we are so overpowered based on what they provide us against or compared to the content they give us. I worry that we're going to lose a lot of people. To be completely honest with you guys, I worry that we're going to lose a lot. And Mino has mentioned this on TCC. He's mentioned this on Ranting Hour. I worry that we'll lose skilled players who have played for a long time, because where we're at in global compared to JP, it's a long time. There's a long time from right now until we get the next really tough fight, and then after that, it's a long time until the next toughest fight. So it does worry me that we are at a point that none of the content, if you have a fully fleshed out roster, none of the content's going to challenge you. That sucks for a game, for a live service game. Signing on week in and week out and not really having to try, it's not great. It's not great for the.
Normally, I'd agree with you, but FF14 exists, right? So.
But if you're the highest, like you have a group of FF14 players who play the in-game content. You guys, if you want to spend the time and be committed to a group of people, you have content that will challenge you. That's what it seems like? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. So that's not the same because you guys are challenged week in, week out. But right now with the the end game raids, you guys have content that even with a group of really veteran players who know what they're doing, it's tough. It's tough to clear the content. We're not going to have that for a long time.
I mean, with that said, that goes back to my earlier point, right? They should not be afraid to make endgame content difficult that people can't beat. It gives people something to strive for because, again, I'm sure Blart's reading chat. All these people who play other gachas say, like, dude, I've been playing this other gacha for, 2 years. I can't do most of the endgame content. But they keep playing it. And, people, whales will spend more for that. So I'm saying, I don't know. Something's very spoiled about the player base that say they shouldn't make it harder because every single person should be able to beat it. That's not good.
Yeah, and to be clear, I've been agreeing with you from the get-go here that I think that there's a lot of room for this game to become more engaging, more difficult. I was pushing back on the idea that it's by nature not a skill-based game, not by present state, if that makes sense. Oh, cool! I didn't know this thing had a little animation.
Yeah, they both do.
But
the casting and celebrating have separate animations.
What determines who gives it? Is it weapon-based?
No.
No, so casting is
Materia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Materia cast Spiritus sublimates.
Oh, that's cool. So every level after is.
Why hasn't anyone ever mentioned this about it? Ultimate Weapons. That's cool.
Yeah, there's cutscenes. They're cool.
Nobody watches cutscenes.
I do. Though I wonder, how does this fit into the lore of DFFOO? Where are Materia and Spiritus in lore right now? I thought they disappeared or something.
See, you are not the target audience for Dissidia.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. What is the target audience? What is the
Me?
What is
I am the target audience for this game.
What is the middle ground where they make the most money, but also satisfy the player base?
I think I know what you're gonna say it. Yeah.
My theory for years has always been this is what you do to catch the casual.
Yeah.
The casual catcher game, because they have the games that appeal to the hardcore, and everyone that plays this game don't play any of those games because they feel like those games are too greedy or too hardcore. No, I'm serious. You laugh,
right.
but how many DFFOO players?
You're right.
How many DFFOO players say this is the only gacha I will play because it is so friendly, or this is the only live service game I have ever played because it is so friendly? A lot of our content creators like Ink and stuff. That's the reason they picked up this game and got into it. This is the casual catcher.
But that's
when you're a company making products, right? You're hitting as many target demographics you want. So there's Pac-Man, and then there's Miss Pac-Man. There's Donkey Kong, and there's Donkey Kong Jr., right? You're divvying it up. This is the casual experience.
This is a tangent, but Miss Pac-Man was an intentionally easier Pac-Man.
Yes.
No, it's the same game. It's a reskin.
Okay.
It's like Ladies Razor stuff. Very minor differences to hit another demographic or.
Oh, okay, I see what you're getting at. Okay.
Shampoo.
I understand. Misunderstood.
Yeah. But
this
is the game we play, and me personally, I'm not gonna go anywhere because it's too easy. I'm gonna try to make my own fun as long as I can until it gets tougher. From what I've seen in JP channels on Discord, it does get tougher. Force weapons, I mean, if you don't... Cam obviously broke everything, but force weapons, the force gauge, all that shit. The fights get really tough. The Ultimecia fight that they just had in JP has been tripping up a lot of people. And I assume those people have played through the, garbage time of JP. So it's a tough a tough line to walk for the devs, because what are you going to do? You're going to make it much tougher, a lot tougher, where people like us and Mino and the people who have been playing for years are much happier. Are we gonna make more? Are we gonna spend more money than the casuals? I don't think so. They're in a tough position. They
Some of us do. Nidre and Mark, they literally collect everything because it's possible for under $1,000 a year.
And
There are
Daniel.
people out there like that, right? Yeah, like Daniel. Yeah. There's quite a few of those whales out there. I think Goose is close, right? Where
This
like
is a big time
they
whale.
buy everything because it is an obtainable goal.
That makes
Right,
sense.
but would that over the course of a month, in DFFOO books, would that make up for the casuals who buy costumes because they love that character? And they're still, I mean, even in Discords and stuff, you still will see people who are like, oh, I don't beat all the Lufania pluses. I beat the Lufanias and I keep up with the story, and like, this is a fan service game. We've become hardcore players of a fan service game, and that's something that's going to happen.
So then I guess what I would say in response to that, though, right, is if there are already people not doing endgame content who are perfectly content to play the game and spend money, why not make the endgame content challenging for the hardcore players?
Can you make the in-game content challenging for the hardcore players without alienating the casual who spends
But you
the
just
most
said
money?
that you just said you see people who don't even clear Lufania pluses.
That's true. But there is that group who, if the Lufania Plus is so hard they can't even attempt it, are going to be alienated by the difficulty of in-game content. I mean, you have to. We don't have access to their books. We don't have access to, money spent per month compared to highest level of difficulty completed. But I would assume that it's at the Lufania level right now. Even right now, as we sit and breathe, I would say that the highest level of money spent per month is at people who don't do Lufania pluses, even in garbage time.
I mean, that's a claim that I would not believe without proof.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Look at other
assumption.
discords. Look at other discords.
Sounds like an assumption that justifies your theory and not something based in fact.
Like, I
Okay.
make a lot of bullshit claims, and that sounds bullshit.
The next
to me.
time, the next time a tier of Dimensions In comes out, look at the percentage who cleared it.
What's
I mean,
the last
I'll
one
do it
at
right
right
now.
now?
The
I'm sure
last
it's
one-
over 30, right?
Yeah, the last one now is bullshit because we've got so much stronger units. But even now, I will go ahead and say, before we get to this, I'm going to look at it, but before we get to it, I will say this is completely skewed by people who have got, multiple green units, etc., who have went back and beaten. But let's look at tier. Let's
Tier
look
6?
at. Wait, what is the?
It's on the second page. They moved it.
Yeah, they moved to the second page.
Why?
Well,
They
I
knew
will
this was
bet.
happening.
I
They
will
tried to
bet.
make you
I
look
will
like they
bet.
knew.
Hear me out. I will bet less than 50% of the entire population of the game has beaten tier 6. And when you
50% is asking a lot.
okay,
I mean,
the
that's
40,
true, but-
40.
But that, how does that prove your point? How do you know those people are spending money?
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
are we
and-
going
well,
with this?
This point makes
Yeah,
no
what do you know?
sense.
Let-
I don't understand.
Technically
No,
less
Bar
than
hears
30.
me.
What do you know?
Bar hears me.
No, I still don't understand your point. I just thought it was interesting because we were talking and said 30% earlier.
So you're gonna leave me. You're gonna okay. Understood. I remember this.
I got to be real with you. I had a completely tangent monologue that I got distracted and planned out, and then I was like, this doesn't actually add to the conversation. This is a completely different direction to take things. And then it's like, where are they talking about now? I got lost.
Well, save that. Put it in your back pocket
Okay.
because I'm about to be proven right that the hardcorest of hardcore players do in-game content. Someone is paying the money here. You ready? 29. Okay.
The numbers
29.
on the screen the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, we are all.
I just saw it. So 29. All right, let's put
This
this
guy's
right.
really drunk.
No. I am drunk, but I'm also right, and that's where you guys are gonna have a hard time. You guys are gonna have a hard time dealing with this because I'm drunk, but I'm also right. 29%. So say 100,000 people play this game. Only 29,000 have beaten the most recent tier, which came out when Caius was the newest BT. I think that you guys.
No.
Let me finish.
Before the timer runs out, I have to Chad. I put up a poll to whether you agree with Raw's point on Transcendence or not. So y'all can vote there in democracy.
Yeah.
Speakers.
Vote and see. Here's my point.
Okay.
Only
29%
of people who play this game have beaten this tier, which came out when Caius was the newest BT. So where is the money that keeps the lights on? Where is the money that keeps them from just completely shutting this game down? That money comes
Probably in
from
the 29% of people who cleared tier 6.
No, I think that's wrong. I think that it's from the 71% of people. Even if
Oh my god!
You're just
even if-
claiming this.
Oh my god!
even if
I'll
the
be
70
real,
okay, but listen to me.
I don't
Listen
think
to
there
me.
was any.
The 71% of people
Oh my god!
who don't do content would only have to spend 30% on average compared to their
Where are these numbers coming from?
because
This is
you
the
guys
most
you guys are in,
intellectual
No.
fucking business.
you guys are in
I hate
these
this.
discords. You're in these discords, you're in these groups, you're in these in-game ultimate players who have been playing most of the time since day one. How many whales do you know from that group? We bring up the
A
same
lot.
No.
A lot.
We
All the
bring-
biggest whales are the ones who completed all content.
No, we bring up the same 4 all the time. Daniel,
Yeah.
Nidre, etc., etc. How much do you guys pay? Let me just hold on. Let me
I
prove
actually,
my
I actually
point.
haven't met a sitter yet.
Let me prove my point. How many of you guys have the high whale pass before Ultima cores come out? Well, I'll go one by one. Mino, I know for a fact the answer. Did you have the high whale pass before Ultima?
Why are
cores?
you asking me if you
No.
know the answer?
No, he didn't. Some girl.
The answer is that he used to have it, but
Did you?
yes, I've
Did
had
you?
it for the past year.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've had it.
Blart,
I've had it. I took a break before Ultima Cores, but I
Right.
got it when it came out.
right.
Yeah.
Blart, did you?
Not before Ultimate Course. No.
Okay. So 3 of the 4 people who play, I think you guys get blocked. I think you guys get blocked in this this echo chamber of other in-game players, and you think, oh, this is how it is. This is how it is. That's not how it is, man. That is how the ultimate in-game diehards look at the game. Not at how, dude. People start this game every day. People start this game and get far every week, and they spend money for costumes, for other shit. We'll have to look at the actual statistics to know the actual spread, but
That's the point.
But
That you've claimed all this with no proof and just said we'd have to look at the statistics. We
Okay,
can't look at
okay,
the
so I
statistics
use-
and
so I
can't
use
prove
the-
you wrong.
so I used the only situational statistics I could. 4 people who are here on a weekly show about the game. None of the 4 had the whale pass. None
What?
of the
I said
Well,
I did. I've had it for the past
I
year.
did. I only took a break for a couple
I
of
never
months.
took a break.
Blar,
Bro, look,
Well, that
I-
makes you super new.
Blart's-
That's
Bro, here's the thing.
Yeah, Blart's
Bro,
been trying to make a
I've-
point. Blart, go ahead.
I have some rough news.
Yes.
We're pulling numbers out here, and you've been kind of accused of just kind of pulling numbers out of your ass, so to speak, just putting them out there. I have some real numbers, and the real numbers say that 9-2, the people do not believe you've made your point. I'm sorry.
Whoa! What was the chat goal?
It was just a poll. Did Raw make his point with the transcendence thing?
And what was the total?
The total was 9 people believed you did not. 2 people thought you did. I suspect 2
Okay,
of them are you.
so nine people who come weekly to a DFFOO show
Oh
who-
my god!
I'm telling you
This
guys,
point is
you guys
so
underestimate.
pointless.
No, you
You
guys
keep
underestimate.
saying 9 people who come weekly. Where are you getting these numbers from? You're just making up the
They
fact.
could be first-time viewers. We've had a number of
Yeah.
first-time friends join us tonight.
You
I hope
guys
they're still here. I see
underestimate-
animation is in there.
You
Hello,
guys
animation. Thanks for
underestimate.
joining us.
You underestimate the blinders that you put on every day when you go into your DFFOO Discords. You go into your DFFOO Reddits. Dude, most people who play this game, go ahead and say that they spend less. That's fine. But even if they spend proportionally much less than the diehards, there's still so many of them, dude. There are so many casuals that even if they spend proportionally 10% of a diehard, I just showed that Tier 6 has 29% of the player base has beat it. There's a lot of casuals in this game. There's a lot of casuals who you don't know how much money they spend, but it's got to be a lot.
So, what's the point of this entire conversation? Like, how
It's
does that
not-
change
don't-
anything?
So Maggie, don't.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
you wasted
ask-
like 30 minutes on this. It's literally going nowhere. We're going in circles. Let's just
This
pretend
is-
he's right.
All,
and
Yes.
all
move on.
I
Let's
wanna
pretend
say
I'm
is
right.
They could. What I'm saying is, even if you're right, Raw Life, which
Oh god.
There's some
No.
RGD level trolling. You're taking its
Oh
bait.
my god.
okay,
Like, right.
okay,
Shout
but
out
even if you're right,
RGD!
let's say
All right,
that
keep going,
let's
keep
say that the 71% of people who don't clear endgame content are the ones spending all the money. That means they could make the endgame content harder, not affect the people spending all the money, and not lose any money. So why not?
Wait, say it one more time. I'm pretty drunk. I'm
Jesus
pretty drunk.
Lord.
I'm pretty drunk. Say it one
Jesus
more time.
Christ.
Say it one more
That
time.
if the people who are spending all the money are not the people doing endgame content, they wouldn't lose any money by making endgame content really hard.
It would make them mad.
Who? They're not doing the content anyways.
Yeah, it would make the people who don't pay money mad. The people who you're talking about.
Make
We're
another.
assuming
Make
here-
another chat. Make another vote, and say who won. Raw Life
That
or
these
the
people
three
don't
other
matter.
people.
They show
The
up
three
every
other
week to
people.
watch a Defo.
The three other people. Okay,
Watching
so
it.
let's move on. Let's move on. We're almost done tonight. It's already
Okay.
10:46. But my whole point is that our little
Okay.
echo chamber of really hardcore players, every single person you speak to on a daily basis is either a hardcore player. I'm so drunk, I'm hiccuping. Or someone who aspires to be a hardcore player. We enter every day into these small little spaces of hardcore players. We lose sight of the majority of the player base. I just proved only 29% of people
Didn't
who
prove
play
anything.
this fucking game have even beaten the latest T6. That's
You
not the
didn't
latest
prove anything.
Lufania. That's the latest Transcendence, dude. I mean, we are so insulated in our group of very, very hardcore players that we lose sight of the overall game. That's all my point is. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody else talk.
Group, I'd like to propose that for the sake of all of our survival, we just jointly surrender as a group and take the.
'Cause
We'll
Ross just
take the
ranting
L
about
publicly
something
just so
else.
that he'll please stop.
So I won.
That's you know what? That's what we'll call it. That's what we're gonna call
Okay,
it here.
so I
This
won.
is such an abuse of
He won.
statistics. Jesus
He
Christ.
won. I'm not sure what he won. I'm not sure how he won. I can't say I fully
won.
understand where he was going.
No, it's just like
But he's
Rob
going to
was just, like,
stop
playing
talking now,
tic-tac-toe
and
on
we're
the
all
side
gonna
and it just declares
back away
victory,
quietly.
like-
We're all listen. We're all
All
gonna
right,
back away
all right,
quietly. We're gonna
all
pretend
right.
this didn't happen.
It's
We're gonna close
10:47.
the door. Turn
No,
up
you
the
want to
lights.
close the door? You want to close the door? Turn
We're
off
gonna
lights.
close
It's
the door, Turn off
10:47.
the lights.
It's 10:47.
Raw's gonna go. Raw's gonna
No.
sleep it off.
No,
We're all
let's
gonna
go
feel better
into
in the
it.
morning.
Let's go into it. Who is the worst of the first 4 BT pluses? All right, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Go to
I'm
bed.
Are
kidding.
you kidding me?
I'm
We are
kidding.
not.
I'm
We will
kidding.
not.
I'm kidding.
I will.
We're not
I
doing
will
this.
end you.
All right, we're not doing this. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We still have a lot of people in here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We're here every Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully this doesn't drag on incredibly long, but we'll go one by one with closing thoughts. Some girl, any closing thoughts?
I feel like a lot of people, if you think a lot of people are going to quit the game, my advice to those people would be just play the game less. Just beat the fight and do something else with your life. This should not be your only hobby. It's a phone game.
That's a fantastic point. Mino, you're the special guest. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, thanks for letting me on, Blart. I kind of regret coming, though. And
I completely understand.
I mean, like, so Maggie said it as well as I could. And we were talking about that again earlier on the TCC Discord. Because I think you asked that question, right, Blart? You said, well, what is your answer to the people that you're afraid will leave the game? Exactly. Like, do other things. I always say it's too unhealthy to expect everything from one game or one person in your life or one activity. Diversify. If you want a challenge, there's plenty of challenging RPGs out there. Go play that. You want some other type of game, like a co-op game, there's more co-op oriented games. Just if you put all your eggs in one basket, that's how you end up not having a good time, hating the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. And actually, my closing thoughts kind of piggyback on both of those because I do have a different but not incompatible take, which is there are ways to find your own fun that don't result in a burnout, that don't result in beating your head against the wall. What you need to do is understand why you enjoy the game and what makes it fun for you and focus on that. For me, it's engaging with the community. It's it's having these streams, it's talking to people in Discord, it's commentating my runs and seeing what people say about comment on that and interacting with those people. It's the people and the community of it. And that's what makes the game fun for me. If it's collecting, do the collection. If it's running your favorite unit through fights, do that. And if it stops being fun, stop that part of it. And if you want to stay with the game, stay with it in the parts that make it fun for you. You don't need to live this, you don't need to experience every element of the game at all times. There's nothing forcing you to do that. And so, as Samegi and said, pull back if there's things that you feel like aren't fun for you. It's supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be enjoyable. And if you want to have more fun with it, you want more,
I want to.
Yeah, and then you can always pull back. There's nothing forcing you to do this. You have the fun that you can have out of it.
Mino.
Understand yourself.
Mino.
I wanted to piggyback off of Blart and say we were actually discussing this, and this was probably going to come up on our show later this week. But it was the people who tend to stick around in communities and these live service games longer are the people who use it as a vehicle, as Blart is saying. He's more here for the community and the interaction and the content creation more for the game, more than the game itself, right? The people who usually stick around use the game as a vehicle for things. Certain people play games they're not super into just because that's how they hang out with their friends, right? Like that's how you get like board game nights. That's how you get like I have a video game night every week during the pandemic, stuff like that. Like that's how you stick to things. The people who play that are goal oriented, that only want to collect the resources or get the gear or accomplishments, they're usually ones that burn out the fastest. So as to piggyback off of Blart, ask yourself what you actually want, right?
Yeah.
Like
I said, I was worried about people quitting. If you feel yourself close to quitting this game, stop playing it. Come on with your super strong units and beat the content, clear out the shop, and move on. Do something else with your time. Our points are not that far apart. They're 100% right. This is a phone game. If you're having a hard time, being engaged in the game itself, there's a huge community. We have our show on Mondays. We have Historia Crux on Tuesdays. We have TCC, which has been here since the fucking 35 CP era, building community. The game is about community. So if you're having a hard time engaging with the game itself, engage with the community. People like anime, people like movies, people like other stuff other than the game. Find a community that you have fun with, spend time with them, and just beat the content and move on. I have played this game before the Ultimate Weapons came out. I played this game once a day for 5 minutes, and that's fine. It's not supposed. It's not built to be your only game. Have a good time. We're getting the fuck out of here. It's
Yeah, I think Shadowheart's reading hydrate. Everyone make sure to stay hydrated. And Cross, I agree with you here when he says shut up and go to bed.
Yeah,
Double Cross.
watch Historia Crux tomorrow on YouTube on Cross 13's channel. I'm trying to raid Living Ichigo because he is the only other true Bleach and DFFOO fan. So thank you guys. We'll see you next Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should have a lot to talk about next week. Thank you guys.
Adios.
Chill.
There we go.
All right, you're rated with a party of 50.